Hello YouTube, Sergeant Fidget reporting in, and I hope you're ready to get down and dirty on Murder Island. Back by popular demand after my last video, I had sex with Wraith, which will be linked down below as long with all the other videos in this series. We are back to now romance the rest of the killers in Hooked on You. Now, I believe the intro part of this game is the same in all the playthroughs. So if you have already seen some of my other videos, I will have a timestamp in the description down below so that you can skip the intro and get right into when we make our very first decision on which killer we are going to romance in this playthrough. Hope you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you do, and let's get ready to get down and dirty. Cough, cough, cough. You wake up on the beach, soaking wet, salt water stinging the inside of your throat as if you'd nearly drowned. Water falls from your mouth as you open it to gasp for air. You have no memory of how you got here. In fact, you can only remember your own name, but not where you came from or a single fact about your life. What you do know is that despite the outrageous beauty of the landscape around you, you feel incredibly sick to your stomach. Wow, really went down the wrong pipe, huh? You need a minute, or can I go on? Because I can give you a minute. We've got plenty of time. Endless time, really.
An eternity, if you catch my drift.
Whoa, not now, Ocean. Sorry, Fidget. May I continue? Please, go on. Okay then. As I was saying, you look down at your feet, ankle deep in the crystal blue water of a newly arrived wave. As the water recedes back into the ocean, it reveals a grotesque discovery. A decomposing face stares up at you from beneath the sand. All you can do is vomit. A stream of dark bile, bugs, worms, and other ick. Questions race through your mind. Where are you? How did you get here? Who is behind this incredibly charming and well-spoken voice in your head? However, answers don't come easy. Your mind is completely blank. What will you do? Naturally, dig up the face. You brush the sand away from the half-buried human head embedded in the ground before you. There's no body, just this head. As you pick it up, flakes of skin fall to the ground. The jaw falls open, revealing a gold coin sitting on the rotting tongue of this poor, dead soul.
Getting your hands dirty, I see. I like that. You're a take charge type.
You examine the gold coin briefly, happily distracted from what has otherwise been an extremely confusing morning. The sun beats down on you, drying your clothes. You check your pockets, but they're empty. Plenty of room for a gold coin, you suppose, and so you deposit it. Why, that's a nice coin you've got there. What if you were to spend it right now? We're gonna hold on to it. No thanks. Look, I'm gonna level with you here. That coin you found, it's mine. I dropped it yesterday, and I've been looking all over for it. Dropped it into a dead person's mouth. Could you just give it back? Sorry, finders keepers. I ain't no caveman. You gotta respect dibs. Psh, be that way then. Your mind doesn't have a chance to linger any longer in your current situation as you feel something soft bump into your foot. Wilson! When you look down, you find a volleyball sitting in the sand there next to you. You stare down, frozen. A voice calls out from behind you. Little help, please. You turn around, and when you see what's waiting for you, your jaw just about hits the ground. Oh, baby. 4 gorgeous monsters stand halfway between you and a well-tended volleyball court. Each of them oozes with undead energy, a magical aura reaching out and penetrating you via your eyes. Your heart begins to race. Curiosity, fear, desire. You can't help but stare at these casually dressed, let's call them killers. I don't know, not to be judgmental, but that's just the energy they put out there. So many competing feelings rush through your mind at once that you are completely paralyzed. Hello! There are weird days, and then there's this. All you can do is look down at the ball and back up at the monstrous lineup of, well, literal monsters. Sexy ass monsters, though. What do? Toss it back. You bend down and grab the ball. It's warm from sitting in the sand on this beautiful day. When you give the ball a toss, it arcs beautifully through the air and lands right in Huntress's hands. Not bad, stranger. Huntress's muscles ripple as she grips it in her hand. You look her up and down and consider what it might be like to be held tightly in those strong arms. Warm, perhaps. Maybe a little sweaty, but that's okay. It's natural. Try hard much? Blech. They're speaking directly to you, but you still can't bring yourself to reply. You're entranced. When you snap out of it, you realize that everyone has gone back to the volleyball court. Alone again, you look across the beach at these strange residents who casually bat a volleyball back and forth, happily ignoring your intrusion on their private beach. Alone again, you look across the beach at these strange residents who casually bat a volleyball back and forth, happily ignoring your intrusion on their private beach. Should you be frightened? Worried? Excited? I did refer to them as killers, not to give too much away. But at the same time, damn, they are looking very appealing in their own way, and nobody has much lifted a blood-soaked finger in your direction.
Don't be scared, Fidget. You were made for this.
Well, geez, if the spooky ocean voice says not to be scared, I'm sure it's all going to work out. With no good reason not to, you decide to head over and see what happens next. Seems like you've derailed the volleyball game just by showing up. You derailed the game by just showing up, nitwit. And I guess you're also a nitwit. Look, it's best to just go with what Trapper says when he says it. There's a policy I hold for pretty much anyone who always seems to have fresh blood on their hands. Hey, don't worry about it. It's all just a game. Existence, that is. Besides, you seem a lot more interesting than a silly game. What's your deal? What brings you here? You mean they're here to do more than distract from my total dump? You mean they're here to do more than You mean they're here to do more than distract from my total domination? That was Wraith. That sigh means he was done with the game too. Either that or he saw a butterfly or something. Look, I don't care why this slack-jawed moron is here. I just want to know, can I kill them or not? You know you can't. At least not yet. Oh yeah, not yet. Hey Fidget, you might want to, say something. Actually, never mind. There'll be plenty of time for that soon enough. Right now, this group has some questions for you. But be warned, answer quickly and answer well. This is a timed quiz, and it will be very important later. Very important. Or not important anyway whatsoever, probably that one. I can't remember. How attractive would you say you are? Very, of course. I'd say I'm very attractive. That's what you think very attractive is compared to this? Trapper flexes, and his muscles are so tight you can practically see the blood running through his veins. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? super strength. Super strength would be cool. Strength isn't all about muscles. True strength is up here. You expect Trapper to point to his head, but instead, he taps one of his bulging shoulders. And specifically in these muscles. Nobody gives a shit about your calves. What was your best subject in school? History. Skipping class. You can say I majored in skipping class. Huh. If I'd ever gone to school, I'm sure I would have done great in skipping class. I prefer skipping over walking almost always. What's your favorite animal? Dog. Look absolutely adorable in a little puppy mask. What's your favorite color? 3-day-old corpse. Nobody would expect me to pick this, so I'm gonna say 3-day-old corpse. That's a pretty edgy answer, right? I'm pretty dangerous. I talk about corpses. No biggie. Those are no good to me unless they've been frozen. You'd be surprised how quickly good meat can spoil. Or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. I'm still getting to know you. What's your dream job? Not working at all. If we could do what we really want, why work at all? Takes a lot of courage to break free from society's expectation to climb the ladder. Only she could spend laziness as some kind of grand crusade. These damn millennials. Best flavor of ice cream. Chocolate. My favorite flavor is pain. Same. Same here. Mine is vanilla, swirled with pain. I think mint chip is the greatest flavor I ever conceived myself, but I think mint chip is the greatest flavor I ever conceived myself, but enough about ice cream. Am I right? Hold on a second. That reminds me. I am right. Always. It's a lesson you should learn before we get too much further. Do what I say if you want to survive. Pick mint chip.
We're teaching lessons now, narrator. You rascal. Kill or be killed is the rule on this island, even for faceless voices.
Tell me, what's the best flavor of ice cream? Mint chip.
So obedient.
I think you're gonna do just fine. Anywho, now that they know so much about you, I'm sure the group wants to start getting you to know. Anywho, now that they know so much about you, I'm sure the group wants you to start getting to know them. I'm Trapper. I pretty much run things around here. I'm the smartest, richest, strongest person on this whole island. I don't like losers. If you want to know what a loser is, say hello to Wraith. Hi, I'm Wraith. I'm nothing like everyone else. I like nice people and loathe big dumb idiots. Hey, what's up? I'm Spirit. I don't like most things. I don't really hate most things either. It's not worth my time. But the things I do hate, I really hate, you know? Based on my personal observations, life is nothing but suffering, and society is a carefully calculated lie to keep everyone subservient to those in power. It's better to choose to just not take part. Jeez. It's like she was downright murdered by society. She hates it so much. Oh, no, wait. I'm remembering Spirit's story now, and that's almost exactly what happened. Hi, I'm Huntress. Don't let these bummers get you down. There's lots of fun to be had on this island, along with lots of love. Yeah, there is, if you know what I mean. Grow up. Grow a body. I've explained this 1,000 times. I'm dead, but I'm not a literal ghost. I just create a trail of fog. I'm not made of it. Whatever, fog body. That's not nice. He's not nice. You love it. Only sometimes. Ew, really? That's disgusting. That's why she likes it. Don't speak for me. I also hate it. Stop speaking entirely, actually. For the first time ever, I agree with Wraith. Let's move on, otherwise they'll do this all day. Besides, if I know this crew, and I do, they'll want to show off soon enough. If we're done playing, let's do something else instead. Wow, for once, I actually agree with the meathead. I say we go to my yacht. It's a massive boat docked nearby. I'll give everyone a taste of true luxury and power. Wraith rolls his eyes. Don't mind him. He just hates fun and happiness. No, I hate the endless, desperate, soul-crushing pursuit of wealth, the way it's flaunted needlessly, and the cruelty it engenders. What about hanging by the pool? I find the water calming, simple, beautiful. Hey, what about our volleyball game? We can exercise and have some fun as a group. Are you all serious? That's a perfectly good lounge to chill out at right here. I'm tired. Besides, I hate being in the sun. Where do you want to go? Well, Huntress wants volleyball, so we are going to play some volleyball. I hate that I interrupted your game. You should finish it. Yay! I love to play outdoors. I also love to meet new people. I also love to bring them home to play. Oh my. I'm sort of a big kid at heart. Obviously you are too. I like you already. By the way, if you're wondering why I've kind of done somewhat of a voice for all the other killers, except I'm not really doing one for Huntress, it's because I felt if I did a really poor Russian accent, if there were any actual Russian people watching this, it would just come off as like insultingly bad. And I didn't want to give her like a general kind of girly voice because I didn't feel that would really fit her character. So not intentional, not like a jab at Huntress, but she's kind of getting the short end of the stick with the voice acting department, is what it is. I hate people who are too serious. They ruin everything. I agree. Well, they do if you don't handle them swiftly. Hold on for just one moment. This is Dwight and Claudette, our activities coordinator. They're also the cooks, waiters, bartenders, janitors, and every other job. They're the only help remaining on the island. This place we call Murderer's Island. Cue dramatical music flourish. Dun, dun, dun. None of the others survived. Survived the interview process, I mean. Hence why we shall heretofore refer to them as survivors with a capital S. These two have worked here a long time, so very long. Don't actually know how long it's been. Sorry. Anyway, I should probably let Dwight and Claudette do their mandated jobs. They sure look happy, but they're vibrating with a nervous energy that is starting to give me the creeps. We will now escort the group to the venue of your choosing. However, in the future, we recommend waiting for us to present you with your options whenever possible, and don't just run off to various activities unsupervised. We don't have much autonomy around here. Words. The least you can do is allow us to do our job. The most you can do is help us get off this island. Dwight? Yes, pardon me. Please follow us. Hey, narrator. Yes, something I can help you with. Those two, Claudette and Dwight, did they just start to mention something about wanting to escape? Is escape an option? Should I be trying to escape? Escape? Them? Oh, no. I think you're mistaken. It seemed like Dwight was asking for help to get off this island, though. Oh, right, that. Yes, that's true, he was, but he just meant that he wants to get to the other vacation island, Getaway. A couple miles south of here, and it has much fancier accommodations than this island. It's one of those big corporate, quite exclusive where all the famous celebrities hang out. Very luxurious. Doesn't quite have the charm that this island has, though. Trust me, you wouldn't want to go there. With all that money comes a lot of restrictions. This is where you belong. Now, off you go. It's time for an activity. On this island, your decisions matter. Mostly, when I agree with them. Not like that other island. So, what'll it be? We're playing some volleyball. Wow, it's so exciting to have someone else into athletics on this island. Spirit and Wraith are so boring and Trapper is so predictable, relying on brute strength to win games. He has no respect at all for grace and skill. Thank goodness you didn't choose the yacht. What kind of person wants to be a sitting duck in the middle of an open ocean? You're just asking for a sneak attack from the elk. Obviously. Wondered how long it would take for her to bring up an elk attack. Game starting up again. Make sure you're watching close. She's really something, huh? Elk don't swim. Live in the forest long enough and you'll see an elk swim. Believe you me. Cheer for me, cute stuff. The killers resumed their place on the volleyball court and resumed the match they were playing before you arrived. Hey, fancy lemonade? I see you working up a thirst eyeing those bouncing buns playing volleyball. Claudette hands you a lemonade. Oh, so fresh, so tart. She leans in and whispers in your ear. Who would you bet to win? Who's the MVP of your little heart? You're nervous. You don't want any of these killers to hear you talking about them or not talking about them if they're into that sort of thing. Just pick someone, please. It's not like we've got all day, night, week, month, year, lifetime, eternity or anything.
Who put sand in that guy's shorts? Sheesh.
Okay, I think, Huntress. Oh shoot, Huntress overheard you. You've got your eye on me? I'm flattered that you think I'm good, but honestly, I'm a little annoyed that I've been so flashy with my moves. Usually I'm so sneaky that you can barely see me at all. Huntress is totally kicking my butt. Correct answer. I'm allowed to support other people on this island, right? Oh, geez, I have no idea what the rules are here. Are there even rules? I should have stayed in my secret Larry. Wow, what a game! It's a tie! Can there even be a tie in volleyball? No one knows, since this is everyone's first time playing. These killers don't usually have time for team sports amid their busy schedule of brutally tearing survivors to shreds. Hey, is Claudette crying? Are you okay, Claudette? Probably just shedding a tear for her lost fellow survivors. You know, this resort had 4 employees when it opened. It's nothing. It's totally fine. Whatever you say, boss. Oh, look, the killers have dispersed and are all cooling down in their own way. Spirit is reading a novel. Trapper is stretching sensually in between chainsaw curls. Wraith is standing on the beach desperately hoping that the sand will swallow him up. And Huntress is doing some target practice with her bloodied hatchet. You feel a nudge. Dwight is looking at you expectantly. You should really make a move. Life is short. You could get snuffed out at any time, any day. You could get snuffed out any time of day. Carp diem, carp PM, carp nowem. Go ahead, chat one of them up. So which killer has caught your eye? Huntress. You head over to Huntress. After all, this whole sporty hang-a thing was her idea. Might as well see how she's doing. You were really great out there. Where'd you learn to move like that? Whose moves? My moves? These moves? They're nothing. Huntress blushes a bit from beneath her mask. It's so cute on cute, if you ask me. Sometimes you gotta look past some bloodstains. A lot of men have run for their lives in my presence. You really learn a lot about what the human body is capable of in those type of scenarios. I love to exercise. In a way, we're all running for our lives when we keep in shape. Guess I never thought of fitness that way. Maybe it's time to start. You never know who's coming for you through the bush. Maybe it's time to start. You never know who's coming for you through the brush as fast as they can, propelled forward by hunger, desperation, or just plain old boredom. Doesn't seem like boredom's going to be your problem surrounded by all these characters. Survival, on the other hand, you're going to need to compensate for your lack of a killer instinct. What's your style? Grit. I might not be strong, but I'm tough. You know what I mean? Like, chewy? She did not seem to know what you mean. Like, ready for anything, to do whatever it takes to survive. Oh, sure, like hold your enemy's head down the river until the shouting stops and the rushing water takes his life away with it. That's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe not anything, but I'm ready for a lot of things. Get ready to impress, because we're just getting started. Come on, everyone. The fun and games can't be over already. I get it. Volleyball, not ruthless enough. Look at us. We crave action. We crave excitement. We crave the thrill of the hunt. It's time to see if our friend here has the hunter's instinct. I saw you surveying me like prey on the volleyball court, Fidget. Huntress waves a bloody axe in the air, and you step back nervously before you realize she's not waving it at you. She's handing it to you. Don't worry, I've got several of these. It's important to hone your skills, especially when you're in a new place where threats may lurk around every corner. You need to make sure that you are the biggest threat of all. Just don't aim those things at me. Can't even see me. Minigames consist of 2 parts. On top, a pointer which rotates in a clockwise direction. And on the bottom, a target you're going to be pointing at. Sometimes the target is immediately visible, sometimes it's hidden until the pointer arrives. Press the spacebar to stop the pointer while over the target to win. Fail to land on the target, and you will lose. To achieve a perfect success, land on the start of the target area, not the end. Okay, ready to play? Or would you like me to repeat that? Ready. Away we go. Show them what you got. How do I miss the slowest one? Yeah, I mean, perfect. GG easy, baby axe thing. I'm impressed. A worthy opponent. Yes, I totally didn't miss the slowest one. It was just drama, creating drama for the video, Huntress. I mean, could have been better, but who's keeping score? Excuse me. 4 to 5. I'm keeping score. I'm the best. For the record, I am. And you got 9. Okay. Hatchet throwing. Cool, I guess. I like my stabbing to be a bit more up close and personal. Somewhere a loud horn blows and the survivors snap into action. Time's up. You heard him. Get to the next activity. Seems like the next activity is mealtime? How quaint. You were expecting what? Capture the flag? You know how complicated it is to run a game like that? Much more so than sitting and talking. You arrive at the cookout area to find an assortment of picnic tables scattered around. What were you expecting? Some kind of grand hall with a huge banquet table? This ain't some prestigious fantasy epic like you'd find on cable. Dwight and Claudette usher you to your seat. There's very limited seating directly around you. And oh, great, terrific. It seems that everyone wants to sit next to you. Even better is that they don't want to sit next to certain other people either. To start, no one wants to sit next to Trapper. Meanwhile, you refuse to sit next to Wraith or Trickster. Oh yeah, Trickster's here. Surprise? Yeah, well, they don't call him Expected Stir. I'm sorry, even I get nervous around crowds of killers, and my whole shtick gets a little flustered. Hey there, you're looking good, Fidget. Real good. And we literally can't let Huntress and Trapper sit together. No, seriously, their arms are too big. They can't fit the table if they sit side by side. Look at this. We can't even fit everyone on screen at the same time. You probably think it was an error, but it's not. It was completely intentional. And let that be a lesson to you. Every error you think you see is a choice. Got that? Okay, Dwight and Claudette are directing traffic. You sit on one side. The rest of them will sit opposite you. Huntress and Trapper can sit at the ends with their enormous, sexy arms. Now that everyone is seated, we can begin dinner. Tonight's meal was prepared slowly and carefully with both love and hate for 12 hours over a spit. We hope you all enjoy. We really, really hope you do. Hey! You didn't actually tell us what you're serving. What are we eating? It's meat, seasoned with a specific number of special herbs and spices that we simply can't divulge. My favorite! Meat is good. Meat is murder. But you know, considering what you've been up to, who are you to get judging now? I'm just sharing facts. I mean, you need to murder something to eat its meat, so that's like technically true. Technically true is the best kind of true. Okay, enough yapping. Let's eat. Hey, Fidget, you thinking what I'm thinking? It's gonna be a person on that spit, right? Or several parts of overlapping people, perhaps. I haven't seen many pigs wearing palm tree button-down prints, you know? When you look closely at the spit, you spot what definitely appears to be scraps of fabric sandwiched between some layers of meat. I think it might be sick. Is there anything else to eat? This took 12 hours, and we do literally everything on the island. Actually, there's one thing you're not doing today. You're not carving up this delectable meal. Wow, he's right for a change, because I am with my broad axe. It's the perfect tool for easily chopping anything in twain. First, who says twain? Sometimes I swear it's like we're all from completely different historical eras. Second, I'll handle this with my cleaver. Fast, powerful, and clean. At least it's clean when this meat is cooked. No blood. You two and your ridiculous bicep swinging contest. Enough. Grow up. Obviously, my gorgeous katana is the only option. Obs. The hell it is. Oh, I'll show you both my katana and send you to actual hell if you'd like. Please stop. Please. I hate when we fight or talk or even when we look at each other in the eye. I can do it. I have the skull of Azeroth. Great. Instead of slicing that up, you can club it to second death. Hey, Fidget, I know this isn't what you want to eat, but hurry up and volunteer to carve up Felix, I mean, dinner. Otherwise, this will go on for hours. No hyperbole. They once argued over who had the most effective weapon for 72 hours straight. And it doesn't matter which one does it. When they're done, they will take even longer cleaning their weapon, all while explaining the value of maintaining your tools. Despite being a bunch of cold-blooded killers, for some reason, they're always terrified of tetanus. Hey, why don't you just let me carve up dinner? Splendid idea. We'd hate for it to get cold. He hated when it got cold. Here's a machete, freshly sharpened. Yeah, we know how to play minigames. The minigames are the same throughout the entire game. Hit the slow one this time. Got it. Sure. We'll just get that in post, right? We'll just edit that one out. Quick, cool, thanks. Not my greatest, considering this is my third playthrough. That was pretty good. Yes, that was pretty good. I'd like to see what you could do with a less clumsy weapon. Yeah, I said it, machetes are dumb. Dinner is finally served. For real. The sounds, especially coming from the masked killers while they eat, which involves lifting their masks and shoving food up behind them, are nasty. Spirit, meanwhile, doesn't even eat. She's the only one who seems to really be embracing being dead. They're all dead, right? This is obviously hell. I mean, come
on. We're still trying to be mysterious here. You think mystery comes easy? Claudette and Dwight aren't the only ones who've been working their ass off to make this night perfect.
Well, at least they're lifting their mask. This is only 99% as disgusting as it could be if they just tried to mash stuff through there. Spirit, why aren't you hungry? The two best things about being dead is not having to eat. That's only one thing. Think about it, Fidget. Number two is no number two. One less thing to think about in the afterlife. Even if I wanted to eat, I have no idea what would actually follow. You might have noticed, but I'm mostly just a bunch of dismembered body parts floating in a spectral form. Do you see how deep this cut on my abdomen is? I don't think my digestive tract connects anymore. Between the food and the behavior of the group, this might be the worst meal in history. But even worse is they're staring at you. You're not eating. They don't like that. I think they want an explanation why. What do you want to tell them? Everything about the dinner is abomination. From what is almost certainly human meat to the lack of marriage to the talk of dismembered parts and these noises everyone thinks so violent might throw up. Even Spirit's talking about number twos. I thought she was a classy one. I don't think they like that. I didn't realize our eating habits grossed you out. It'd be such a mental sheesh. If I could feel shame or sadness, I might be experiencing both right now. But what I feel is rage. And I am furious you just ruined the meal. I have a whole leg to eat. Even though you're in the hot seat now, you're not nearly as panicked as you probably should be. There's almost certainly a lack of calories catching up to you, and you feel your whole body begin to shut itself down. I just wanted to try something different, and I made them mad. Whoops.
Oh, hey, it's me again. Your friend, mentor, and guide. Narrator to the narrator, the ocean.
Not sure how I feel about that characterization, but I'll allow it. I'm trying to pick new things, but maybe I should pick some certain things if I know they work from the other two playthroughs.
I brought you here, and I might be the only one who can help you now. There's only one thing you must do to survive. You have to figure out why you're really here. No one can tell you, not unless you follow the right path, or at least a right path. There's too many of those to count. Hopefully, you pick at least one of them, because there are even more wrong paths. Many of them led to your demise. Others led to something even worse.
Starting scene's over and having to fast forward back to where you were. Am I right?
For this place holds many secrets, even from itself. But the only one that truly matters can be learned if you answer the most important question. Why are you here? Why are you here? Answer that, and you'll learn the truth. The ultimate truth.
Vague. Mysterious. I gotta give it up to this ocean character. That's some quality early game storytelling.
Hold on, I'm back. One more piece of advice. You've made many choices by now. Some of them I liked. Some of them I did not. It's in your best interest to make more choices that I like.
You wake up to find Huntress holding your limp body, gingerly pouring cool water into your mouth. Oh, good, you're okay. Sometimes when I try and care for people, they have a way of ending up less alive than when I started, which would be a total bummer if that happened to you. It's been so long since I had a normal, happy, healthy living person around. Usually I'm just falling into the same little routine of smashing everyone's head open with a hatchet before I really get to know who they are as a person. But you're not nearly as scared or too busy writhing in pain to see me for me. You feel nervous in her arms. Not just because they're maybe crushing you a little bit, but because she's beautiful. Yes, beautiful, but I was just gonna narrate that fact, not, say it out loud as a single word like some creep. Beautiful mask. Your bunny mask. It's quite gorgeous. Nice recovery. But now that you're awake and talking, you gotta keep this up. Did you make it yourself? You're the first person to ever ask me that. Yes, I did. You seem so quirky and cool. You could do anything. Own an Etsy store, be a doctor. Why is it that you kill people? Huntress sighs. You can practically see the memories flickering across her eyes. Because she hasn't tried to kill you yet, so that's a good sign. It's all I was ever taught to do as a young girl, so I thought it was right. Even through the mask, you can see that Huntress is blushing a bit. It seems like your line of questioning has made her a little nervous. Hey, you didn't eat much at dinner. Want a snack? What are you serving? She offers you some jerky. Probably human jerky, but her spice game's on point because it smells pretty damn good. When on Murder Island, you might as well eat as the killers do. Plus, you really are hungry. You can chow down on jerky sensually, right? I'd love some. After a moment of quiet chewing on what you choose to believe is not human thigh meat, you decide to be bold and ask another question. Have you ever been in a relationship before? Dang, you're really going there. You do not play around, Fidget. Hunter takes a moment to think deeply before answering. I must say, it's quite amusing to see this hulking bombshell get all twisted up with these personal questions. Kudos to you, Fidget. There was this one deer that looked at me quite provocatively in a clearing once, but that doesn't count, does it? Bambi, the alternate movie. The one that was behind the curtain at the video store. You hear the faintest giggles bubble out from behind Huntress's mask. Ha! You're so cute. Huntress, no, it doesn't count. Whoa, what's this? You found something in the sand. Huntress reaches down to pick it up. It's a hair clip. Probably left by some little girl who was playing on the beach long ago, who is definitely still alive and not at all dead. Huntress closed the bag of jerky with the hair clip. Seems like she's a little mixed up on how exactly this particular item works. Should you go with the flow or show off some of your knowledge of human beings? Show her a thing or two. You silly goose. You chuckle before reaching for the bag of jerky. Take the barrette off and collect a lock of Huntress' hair, clipping it back into an attractive swoop. Much better. Huntress is so happy that you taught her something new about human trinkets. She touches the clip in her hair with a shy smile. Aww. Just as things are really heating up, you hear a flurry of footsteps behind you and you quickly spin around, ready to fend off whatever new danger has popped up on this strange island. She's so sweet as for a killer. Only to find that it's Dwight and Claudette sprinting across the beach, clipboards in hand, which they're waving in the air above their heads. Very important that we stick to the itinerary and attend each event as scheduled. Playing sick for the cute flirt points was not part of this evening's activities. That's strictly slotted in for after campfire story time. At this rate, we'll be late. Playing sick? No time for excuses. Oh, there is, but that's scheduled for after what comes after the flirting. Go, 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 go! Once everyone has gathered at the fire pit, Dwight and Claudette quickly make an announcement. We're not going to blame anyone in particular, but someone, and we're not going to say who, so don't worry, you hasn't been sticking to the schedule. That means that we're behind on time for evening activities, and we'll only have time for one person to share their special spooky nighttime story. Just one story? The story time is my favorite activity. This is a narrative heavy experience. You're telling us that only one person gets to share? How will we decide who? Oh, great. We have to decide as a group? That never goes well. Whoever did this, step up now. I swear I won't be angry. I'll merely chop your head clean off. No fuss, no muss. Voice trembling, you realize this is probably it for you. But you embrace your fate. Sorry, everyone. I think they're talking about me. To be honest, I still don't understand how this whole schedule thing works. I guess I lost track of time while I was passed out. Been there before. Even though it's taking some pressure off me, which is an absolute dream come true, is it really fair to pick on the newbie? Seriously, has anything here ever happened on schedule even once? Damn it, Donald! You try to flex that authority gimmick one more time, so help me, I'll snap your head off so quick, and then I'll drown you in his blood, Cynthia. Fuss and muss are back on. You two know I love to hack, slash, and slice. We all know you love to kill. It's almost all you talk about. Nobody named any names. Who even knows any names? Not us. Ira Knapp's my name. Who's Donald? Who's Dwight? Who even knows anymore? Call me nobody. But we still gotta get started on story time. So, Fidget, who do you think should go? Ah, damn it. That's a name. Please pick somebody quickly so the tropical vacation doesn't turn into a bloodbath. Huntress. I choose you, Huntress. Whoa, whoa. This entire experience is being carefully crafted to avoid an IP infringement lawsuit. Let's be careful with the catchphrases, will ya? Huntress steps up to tell her story. The campfire flickers in her faraway eyes. There was a village outside the deep and ominous red wood. No child dares step foot past the threshold of thick trees and brush that separated safety from the unknown. Grown men that ventured in often would never return, and the sounds that echoed out into the village were something inhuman. The women of that town told a story to the young children, hoping it would be enough to dissuade them from curious exploration beyond the boundaries of the village. They told us of a creature that lurks in the woods, half woman, half beast, singing like a siren, haunting, beautiful, her voice the last relic of her humanity. It lulls all who hear her into her domain, and not precocious child nor fierce soldier can escape once you are in her clutches. Those who have seen her say she wears a mask of hair stained with blood of so many poor souls. The hatchet she wields has been brought down brutally on the skull of many an unsuspecting hunter. Nightmare doesn't end there. For what hungry beast to do in the frigid winters with nothing but hunter meat to live off of? It is said that the Huntress, as the villagers called her, couldn't bring herself to kill the young girls she came across in the forest. Instead, they'd suffer an even worse fate. Longing for a child of her own, she'd bring them back to her secluded cabin to keep them safe. She'd wrap a tight cord of rope around their necks and affix them to the wall. That way, they'd be warm. That way, they'd be out of harm's way. The Huntress would even bring the girl presents. Toys she pilfered from other bodies, masks she fashioned out of things from the cottage, and little dolls made of grass and twigs. But those toys did nothing to quell the children's fear. Within days, the girls would waste away from starvation and dehydration. For all her good intentions, the Huntress had never learned how to care for a human child. You see a tear creep down underneath Huntress's mask. Suddenly, The most beautiful singing voice you've ever heard fills the air. Sleep, my darling tiny one, tucked within your bed so tight, else the old grave wolf will come and grab you by your side. There's a brief moment of silence, and you feel the need to contribute to this stirring moment. He'll snatch you up between his teeth if on the bed's edge you sleep, then drag you to the forest deep beneath the quaking tree. Huntress can't believe you know this song. You share an intimate glance across the campfire. So close your eyes and fall asleep. Count the little woolly sheep. Tuck so tightly you must keep, or he will come for you. The song ends, and you are both met with silence around the campfire. I love that song. Oh, God. Bayu Bayushka. The old Soviet lullaby, right? I'm sorry, I butchered that pronunciation. It is the song my mother used to sing to me before bed every night. But now I must go. The memories, they are too much. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a little bit so they can all have a moment alone before bed. Everyone leaves and you're alone by the fire. The only thing you hear is the ocean slowly lapping against the shore. This is nice. A true moment of peace and tranquility that lasts for all of 7 seconds because Trickster shows up and he's blaring his latest song. Hey, baby. You look lonely. Mind if I join you? He doesn't wait for an answer. I know you've been hearing from these guppies all day, but I want you to hear something from a big fish like me. Something special those in charge of this island don't want you to hear. I am the ultimate catch on this island, the only lobster in an ocean of sardiness. No one can give you what I can. You just have to find me. Come find me, baby. Trickster leaves. You're a bit confused about what to make of his cryptic clues, but you aren't going to get any time to yourself to think about them just yet. Huntress approaches you. Of course you liked my story. Who wouldn't? It had everything. Cute kids, dead men, a huntress. I find that all stories are better with the sound of burning fire filling the air around you. All the smoke, whatever, I could do without. I'd rather eat barbecue than smell like it. Let's rinse off all the campfire with a dip in the hot tub, shall we?
Dipping you in the hot tub with the Huntress. We've come a long way in a single day. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow her. An offer like that. Just don't forget our little talk.
You and your storyteller friends slip into the water. It's just the right temperature for an evening dip. Plus, if some jealous shark comes along and manages to jump from the ocean into the pool, you're also pretty sure your killer companion could handle it. Before you run off, I wanted to make something clear. You know that half woman, half beast I was talking about in my story? That's me. I'm her. No way! M. Night Shyamalan plot twist! No way, how cool. That's really awesome. Thanks for being vulnerable and telling such a personal story. Huntress faux shyly twirls her hair. Tell the truth. What do you think of my tale? Do I have the makings of a best-selling author such as the comedic mastermind Dostoevsky? There's really well-told narrative. Clear beginning, middle, and end. Riveted from the start. Plus, the woman in the forest, you, are clearly not a true villain. You were just a traumatized child. And now you're just being a suck-up. Hunter's eyes leer at you from behind the mask. She's had her time in the spotlight and is playing coy now. You chuckle awkwardly at Hunter's statement of the obvious. Why are you laughing? I can't help but giggle when I'm both about to die and also maybe falling in love. You can't believe how awkward this intimidating woman seems right now. It's actually pretty endearing. You notice the temperature has dropped significantly despite your steaming company. It's a little chilly and your bare shoulders must be freezing. Let's head back to the fire and put me to bed, yeah? We hate to intrude on whatever smooth moves are about to unveil themselves, but it's time for bed. Usually nighttime is when I do my best hunting, but after a day like today, even I'm pretty tuckered out. Will I see you tomorrow, Fidget? Only if I don't see you first. Make a cute little bow hunting motion. Huntress catches your imaginary arrow you shoot in her teeth, then bites down hard, snapping it in half. At least you think that's what she was doing. Kind of hard to tell. Good night, my little snack. She's so precious. I'm sure that wasn't a reference to actually eating you. You head over to the campfire. The heat is comforting on this chilly night. Looking into the crackling embers, you think about Huntress' story of the half-human beasts that abducted all those innocent children, an attempt to save them that led to their doom. Are you a mistaken prisoner here on this island? Is this your salvation, or will it be your demise? Before you can dwell too much on your fate, Claudette and Dwight arrive, their now familiar creepy smile stretching from ear to ear. It's a bit menacing to see a smile like that lit by firelight. You must apologize for the accommodations. We weren't prepared for another guest, but we're going to make you comfortable or die trying. They hand over a pillow and blanket and welcome you to snuggle up by the fire. Perhaps some music will put you at ease? Just try to keep the volume to a minimum. Our other guests aren't the type that you'll want to rob of their beauty sleep. This is a mini game. Ready. Okay, so I've done these stations in the other videos. Links are in the description down below for Wraith, Trapper, and Spirit will be uploaded after this Huntress video, so I'll make sure that's down there as well once it's uploaded. So if you're curious to see and listen to any of these, they're all available in those videos, but I don't want to do them again. No matter how many things you listen to, you still can't sleep. You decide to ask one of the killers to spend a little more time with you until you're sleepier. Who would you like to summon to your side as you lay by the fire? Huntress. Huntress, are you around? I was wondering if I could get a little company. Huntress appears in an instant. You really didn't hear her coming. She's more than happy to tell you her secret for falling asleep when she's feeling restless. If a Soviet lullaby doesn't work, the special mushroom tea is always in the trick. When I'm not coating the blade of my hatchet in it to ease the passing of my victims, I'm steeping it in a piping hot mug of water. Try it. You do. You finally start to feel sleepy, except this isn't really a sleepy feeling. Maybe you're paralyzed. You try to keep your eyes open, but you can't. Darkness overtakes you. The dark voice from earlier speaks to you again. It shouldn't still be as spooky. By now, you've had a whole day of strange voices in your head, but this one is still undeniably odd.
Really worked up a sweat watching those killers toss the ball around, huh? Wouldn't it have hurt so much to go splash around some cool ocean waves afterwards? I'm just saying, I'm out of here, you know?
You awake suddenly to see someone looming over you. Wraith stares at you, awkwardly. He says nothing, just stares. You look around to see if there's something going on behind you on the other side of you, but nope. Just staring. Oh, you're awake. I saw you with the Huntress right before bedtime. Are you making some sort of a alliance? Are you with? Poor Wraith, he just wants friend companionship. We give Wraith companionship in our other video. I'm just making sure you are who you say you are. I've been burned before and something seems off on this island since you've arrived. Even more off than usual. Maybe we could talk more about that tomorrow? It's just, since you got here, I think we could have a really nice day tomorrow together. It's just, you have no idea how long I've been here with these monsters. To be honest, I have no idea either. They're just awful, boring, and loud, and stupid. You're different. There's finally someone here on my level. You're thoughtful, interesting, gentle. I think we could, have fun. I could show you some cool stuff if you want. If you don't, that's totally cool. I get it. No pressure. In fact, probably just forget I was here. Good night. Finally alone, for real this time, maybe. You drift off to sleep again. Hopefully you're not poisoned. Wait a second. Where are we? This is... Oh, jeez, it is. It's one of those reality show confessional rooms where all the contestants talk directly to camera. I think today went really well. There were some of my first interactions with someone who isn't a parent that didn't end in bloodshed or untimely perishing in my Russian cottage. So I'm counting today as a win, no matter what happens. What do I think of the newcomer? Do I have to say? Oh, I do? Okay. Attractive. Mysterious. I really don't know that many other words since I was raised by my mom in the woods until she was skewered by an elk and I had to wash her entrails off my Seraphan. That being said, the other three should make sure to be on their guard. I don't know who this newcomer will want to spend time with tomorrow, but I for one will not let my guard down easily. Who knows about the others? Wraith, I think, knows more than he's letting on about this place. He's a hard nut to crack. Meanwhile, Spirit is just screaming all the time, major buzzkill, and Trapper, oof, where do we begin with Trapper? He's buff, sure, but daddy issues much? Sheesh. Look, I don't need anyone. I've been perfectly fine on my own since my mother died. I eat a fine diet of raw deer, bear, and human. I'm as fit as a fiddle. That being said, something about this newcomer makes me think I might be missing out on some huge part of this thing called life. I'm being honest. I just want to kill about every person I meet within a minute of meeting them. Even the few people I can tolerate, I want to see suffer for a long time before I kill them. But this person, for some reason I'd like them to continue living for now. One false step and well, you know, everyone calls me Trapper for a reason, and they better call me Trapper. I swear if I watch this later and you list me as Evan, I'm gonna kill the tyrant guy. I don't really care. This island's full of people who don't really like me, so what's one more? I don't want to get distracted from my plan anyways. You know, I think I learned a lot about myself today. I always thought I was doomed to be alone for eternity, only my creeping desire for revenge to keep me company. Now I know it. You open your eyes. The sun is shining. It's not a cloud in the sky, and you feel great. Totally well rested. You're not even suspicious of the fact that you fell asleep by the campfire but woke up several yards down the beach. Wait, are you on vacation? Was yesterday nothing more than a strange dream? No, not a dream. You really are here for another day. Why? I have no idea. You're obviously a weirdo. Speaking of weirdos, I see the rest of the gang is hanging out on the beach. This is definitely not a dream. I wouldn't rule out a nightmare just yet, though. At least they make for a sexy bunch, no? And talk about sexy. Here comes Trickster carrying coffee. Morning, beautiful. Thought you might like a nice cup of joe to start this incredible day off right. Totally not poison. Trickster seems suspiciously cheerful. Sure, there's nothing nefarious behind his joyful demeanor, though. Everyone knows musicians are morning people. I also want to wish you luck. Today's an important one. My only regret is that I won't be a bigger part of it. Budgeting issues. Also, I'm just swamped with engagements, especially on the other island. Trickster winks at you. You wanted to ask him how to reach the other island. Now is the time. Never mind, you left. Well, at least he brought me a cup of... No, wait, don't drink that! What the hell was that? They don't call him Trickster because he's good at skateboard. He definitely didn't get that name because he brings people drinks so they can have a good morning. That was almost certainly not coffee, and I don't want anyone casually poisoning, imprisoning, and torturing you. Yeah. This is supposed to be a tropical paradise. The type of place you give a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up review to, not an internal prison of pain. And please make sure to leave a review. It really helps with the algorithms. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithms. Just trust me. I'm looking out for you. So can we please move on?
Hey, wait a second. How did a possibly omniscient, possibly unreliable narrator physically just knock that coffee out of your hand?
This is not a parliament, and the floor does not recognize the ocean to speak out of turn at this moment.
I need no recognition, for I am the ocean. I dominate the land. I submerge those who defy me and become their watery grave. Actually, speaking of graves, I would like to say something. Something of grave importance.
Fine. Go ahead.
Even if this place is an eternal prison of pain, and I'm not saying it is, even a place of extreme horror, and still receive a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10, thumbs up review if it was crafted with love and or that's the type of thing you're into.
You know, the ocean is right. A lot of hard work goes into a place like this. You should really judge it on the artist's intent, and whenever possible, start from the mindset of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Constructing these elaborate simulations, vacations, it's not easy to do. Sometimes there are small bugs or inconsistencies, but that's just the nature of the process. Perfection is overrated. The universe is filled with mysteries. This feels like a super meta comment from the devs of Dead by Daylight, to the point where I'm going to read it again. Sometimes there are some small bugs or inconsistencies, but that's just the nature of the process. Perfection's overrated. The universe is filled with mysteries. We ought to celebrate those who venture to bare their souls as part of a creative process with the ultimate intent of making things for our enjoyment, not to be overly critical of them. Are you two trying to sell me on this place actually being good? You don't have to say it like that, especially after I saved you from that poorly made cup of coffee. Sorry, we should have been here 5 minutes ago. They always do this on the second morning. Sad, really. Even if they do make some great points. Oh, sure, they make some great points. I agree. Can we please move on? Yes, of course. Apologies, Fidget. The last few minutes aside, have you been enjoying your time here on the island? Yes, been having a lovely time. If I were to summarize my time here, I'd call it a lovely time. Ah, lovely. We love to hear that, because isn't that what this place is all about? Finding love? No. Shut up, Dwight. You'll get us killed again and again and again and again. We do need to ask you one more question, though. We all had to sign away our rights to say anything negative about this place. Would you please sign this non-disparagement agreement? No. No, I will not say anything negative about this island. You have my word that I, Fidget, agree with the terms of this verbal contract. Tricked! Perfect. Delightful.
Excellent.
Yes. Yes. Hey, Fidget, it's still totally cool if you have constructive feedback. The place to leave that is in a positive review, because we all know that nobody reads negative reviews of games or resorts like this. Anyway, I see Dwight and Claudette have gone to a trance, and with the grumbling I hear from your belly, that can only mean one thing.
Breakfast.
Perfect timing. Everyone rolls into the dining area to lard up those sexy little bellies with pancakes and bacon, and so much for maintaining these beach bods. We're all half naked in a tropical paradise. Can we get some strawberries here? Yogurt, magic powers, only get you so far. Even killers watch their sodium intake. You take your plate and sit down, thinking about yesterday and the whirlwind of feelings you experienced. Danger, dread, disorientation. It was like going through puberty again, except all in one day on a beautiful and mysterious island. Looks like you're not the only one doing some introspection, though. Trapper stands up to talk about how his day went in case anyone was wondering. Personally, I wasn't. I'll be honest. I didn't expect you to survive yesterday. So congrats, I guess. Whether you survive today is 50-50 at best. Good luck. Well, that was bizarre. Back to your breakfast. Nope. Now Huntress steps up to talk about her feelings. I feel a stirring inside my animal heart. Something I've never felt before. It's almost like the feeling right before I go in for a kill, but softer. Warmer. Sounds like it could be love. Or maybe just indigestion from all that raw beef she had last night. Ah, well, that surely must be it. No one else would be weirdly stand up during breakfast too, and just like that, here comes Spirit. If I look especially well rested in the morning, it's not because I slept well. As you know, I'm much too dedicated to finding revenge to ever sleep again. But because you all really left me alone used to be my best on constantly annoyed self, and I thank you for that. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go back to quietly resenting being trapped here with you all while looking cute doing so. I'm guessing Wraith has had enough time to work up the courage to speak in front of the group. Ah, perfect. There he is. Take us home, Wraith. I'm glad the introduction of Fidget to our island paradise, and yeah, that was in quotations, and distract me from my normal routine, ignoring all of you and vice versa. This place is an eternal prison of suspicion and suffering, and no one cares. I'm still the only one asking any questions. I'm asking a question too. When will Wraith shut up? And now they're all looking at you expectantly. Wait, are you supposed to stand up and explain how yesterday made you feel? I think I need to process everything by myself. I'll see you soon. Damn, what a power play. Keep wanting more. You're getting good at this game, or a sexy, true-to-life experience. Shame we didn't get to eat any breakfast, but so be it. After breakfast, you head to the hot tub by yourself to clear your head. Yesterday was, in short, a lot. Before you get there, though, something catches your attention. You hear that? Who are you addressing? Me? Well, yeah, I guess. That is okay, right? I might be pursuing a relationship with one of these four fine killers, but it feels like the person I'm getting to know the most is you, narrator. It's only okay in so much as it serves to illustrate that you've lost your mind, seeing how I'm not real and all. Yeah, I heard it this time. I think it's coming from behind the pool shed. No, stick it in there. A little more. A little more. Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah. How does that feel? Intense. Nice. Yeah, that feels right. This is uncomfortable. Now I want you to take that and put it right. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Just like that. Exactly like that. I swear I had no idea what these two even whatever it is they are doing. I'm afraid to look. Please say something so they know you're close by and can hear everything. Oh, wow. Look at this super cool bottle of Trickster brand suntan lotion someone left on a chair. Anyone know where I could buy some? Damn it. Oh, come on. A little privacy, please. Dwight is panting and Claudette has a crazed look in her eyes. Sorry, I didn't know how else to let you know I was here and that I could hear you. Well, you know. No, what? What do you think we were doing? You were doing, I don't know exactly what you were doing, but it sounded fun? You think two people trying to find new ways to kill each other in a desperate search to make their own death permanent is fun? Oops. We get 5 minutes to ourselves every day, and we spend it hoping if we stab each other in just the right spot, we won't get resurrected. I've come to believe the key is finding the exact place we need to bleed out from, and I believe that place is in our appendix. Why else would it be there? Makes sense to me. Did you actually think we were me and him? Don't have to laugh that hard. They get it. My life is a nightmare, and yet somehow it's never been worse than right now. Let's go, lover boy. I noted all our entry wounds and our 5 minutes is up anyway. Good luck, Fidget. You're gonna need it. And hey, if you figure out how to escape this island, please make sure your ghost tells us how. That was both a tragedy and a comedy. A cragmedy. Shut up. I like it. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, you're heading to the hot tub by yourself to clear your head. Yesterday was, in short, a lot. So far today has been exhausting too. But you're dedicated to achieving a true, centered sense of calm. No drama, no bullshit, just soaked up sun in a heated pool. Today, you're on a date with you.
Oh, I like that. I want to be on a date with me. Who would make the first move?
And aside from that disturbing thought, all is going to plan until a shadow blocks your precious sun. Spiky tipped like a palm tree is bending over to screw with you. But it's no tree at all. It's, hey, babe. Breakfast was weird, huh? Everyone just getting up and announcing how they're feeling. What's that about? Some kind of forced check-in with the group? I don't like it. Fishy, kind of lazy. Whatever though, breakfast is dumb. No one should eat before noon or after 4 p.m. Yeah, I do intermittent fasting. You've seen my abs, by the way. Maybe they can see them later in my private stage on the other island. You know, IP Island, where all the Hollywood celebs hang out. If you play your cards right, I can give you a private show. Catch you around. His abs are pretty amazing. You gotta give him that. And the blow-up bat, threatening but adorable. Makes for an interesting silhouette. Genius design. He's a psychopath, just like the rest of them. You don't gotta give him anything, and we're not best friends. Just because we had a little talk about doing a little talking, it's not an open invitation to go smashing the fourth wall every 5 seconds. Okay, now that the guy is gone, and we've got some ground rules established that we're definitely going to abide by, time to lay back, take some deep, slow breaths, and nope, another Charlie's will not leave you alone. Let's see what it is this time. Ah, yes, Huntress, that makes sense. You two have gotten pretty cozy. We should get out of here. I know a place that's quiet and out of the way. No one will be able to hunt us. I mean, hear us there. Doesn't that sound intriguing? But immediately a flood of worry floods your brain. Should you pack a picnic? Bring your swimsuit? A pocket knife? You decide to bring as much as you can. You may have to make a run for it at some point, and you should be prepared. But of course, you washed up on this island with nothing but the clothes on your back, so you've got nothing to gather. Are you really ready for this? I mean, they call her the Huntress, so not the Huntress. You look up at this towering goddess trying to form a sentence when suddenly, before you can decide if you want to go off with her, the trapper interjects. I demand that you reconsider. Why settle for a bunny with a hatchet when you can have everything you've ever wanted? Tough choice. You weigh your options quickly because you can only go on one date today, and you also don't want to be hacked to pieces for saying the wrong thing. It's always good to remember that all of these are cold-blooded killers. But you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And then die a horrible, retching, writhing death after drinking it because the lemons were poisoned all along. Ah! Sorry, the silence really got me tilted. So who will it be? We're gonna go with Huntress. I gotta go with Huntress. Whee! You and Huntress make your way to the secluded beach house. Your heart thrums in your chest. Don't look it up. Thrums is a real word, I swear. Are these nerves of excitement or terror? Isn't it fun to mix the sexy and the horrifying? Huntress is quiet as a mouse as she guides you through the island forest. You struggle to keep up with her. She moves like a jungle cat, all muscle and silent leaps across the thorny bush. She halts suddenly, and you crash into her, having been desperately trying to keep up. You follow her gaze and realize that you've arrived. A cabin in the woods. Obligatory is nearly all horror films and stories. And you've come here willingly with a fearsome killer. Great job. The cabin is cozy, but something seems off about it. You can't quite put your finger on what it is. Huntress stares at you through her bunny mask, cocking her head to the side as if trying to gauge your reaction to her hideaway. Are you gonna invite me inside? Why do you need an invitation? Are you a vampire? No. Oh. It's just me or Huntress seemed a little disappointed. Didn't peg her for a lover of the fang, but hey, I don't judge. She likes to be bitten. Come in, let's explore. It's a nice little cabin. You follow her inside. It's creepy, rickety, and definitely not up to code. It has a certain homey charm. You're quite the decorator. She blushes. Indeed she is. A chandelier made of bones hangs delicately from the foyer ceiling, and a collection of trinkets lines the mantel. Something tells you that people who once owned these things are not of this mortal coil anymore. Could you be Huntress's next victim? The thought gives you a wicked thrill. Hey, she's looking at you again. What do you think of my collection? I could certainly learn to like this. The whole place is quite tactical. There's so much to look at. The organized chaos makes me want to craft things with my hands. I knew you'd like it here. You have the eye of someone who appreciates fine stolen things. I can't wait to go treasure hunting with you. We could find so many more goodies on the island. But first, what do you think of the other killers on the island? I mean, Trickster's pretty out there, but everyone else seems like they have interesting backstories and whatnot. A little gossip, huh? What are you playing at, Fidget? Huntress considers this for a beat. She seems to have two modes, thoughtful and explosive. You hope to never be in the splash zone when the explosive part emerges. Why? Are you jealous? Before you can answer, the house begins to shake. Huntress loses her balance on the termite-infested floor and falls into your arms. You're not mad about it, but before you have time to enjoy, take this moment in. Crabs! Oh no, it's an attack! A horde of killer crabs invades the crevices in the poorly constructed cabin. They race at you in hundreds and swarms, clacking their razor-sharp claws at you. You must act quickly. What will you do? Let's shield her. Huntress prepared to use your body to shield her from the onslaught of cabbage. I'll save you, Huntress. Huntress can take care of herself. Sort of her whole thing. Have you been paying attention? Hey, save some fun for me. Huntress immediately between you and the crabs, hip checking you out with a wave before splitting open crab shell to crab shell like your uncle at an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Huntress sits down on the wicker couch and begins cleaning the guts off her hatchet. It's an obligatory scene for every killer. You're just happy to not be the source of what she's wiping off. Looks like we're having crab for dinner. She doesn't smile at your joke. She has that ponderous look on her face again. You join her on the couch. Man, sometimes those near-death experiences really get me thinking about what I want in life. I think I'd really like to start a family one day. How about you? Of course, I love kids. Love to be a parent one day. Huntress smiles. I love my dear mother so much. Can't wait to have that sort of special relationship with my daughter one day. Teach her everything I know. And it won't be killed by some horrible elk. What were you like as a kid? You try to imagine this giantess as a meek child in a puffer coat wandering about the forest. Huntress chuckles. Her laugh quite cute and soft. I was so innocent. We hunted to survive. Then we went back to the cottage and mother would tell me stories and we'd drink tea and imagine a life far away from the woods. Somewhere like this. I suppose I finally achieved what she always wanted from me. But since coming here, something feels off. It's beautiful and warm and everyone is so attractive. Like thirst traps galore. But don't you get the feeling that something is coming for us? Oh no, she's onto you. But onto you about what? Swirling memories rush through your head. Nightmares. Visions of a dark cloud. Claudette and Dwight vacant stares that belie some sort of hypnosis. Validate your theory and try to push it off. Totally. I think you're onto something. What do you know? How long have you all been here? Do you remember anything at all about why we might be here? I've been having these dreams, seeing things. I think we are all serving some greater purpose here. Huntress reveals a strange object that she stole from near the stage where Trickster performs. It has some strange symbol on it. Truthfully, it doesn't seem that strange to you. It's just a glass bottle. However, the label is interesting. She hands it over to you, but before she can explain her theory, Claudette and Dwight burst in on you and interrupt. We have a dramatic announcement. These guys always show up at the worst times. But it needs to happen back at the beach. Curses! You arrive at the beach and realize you were set up. There's no big announcement after all. What we have here is a good old-fashioned rivalry. It's true. Exactly like the voice that we cannot hear and certainly aren't referencing says. We are forced to interrupt your lovely date by another killer. They are here and ready to make you an offer of love you won't be able to deny. Sorry, Trapper, you were yesterday's video. Trapper emerges from the water. Is he in slow motion? He's pure thirst. He's Paul Newman on horseback. He's Denzel on the cover of GQ. Manliness brought to life. Also, is he holding his breath in there the whole time waiting for his cue? That's commitment to a bit if I've ever seen it. Heard you spent the day in that quaint cottage. It's cute. How about a quaint mansion? Or better yet, how about one on each continent? Yeah, I'm including Antarctica. I'm really, really rich. Think of how cozy we can get in a snowy 10-bedroom chateau. One of those pools that is half indoor or half outdoor, but nice and warm throughout. The way you can kill a mama polar bear from the outside while watching her cubs cry over body from the inside. I'm thinking of like the Coca-Cola commercials that aired during Christmas time. And now I am sad. Wow, Trapper's the real deal. And by real, I do mean really, and by deal, I mean evil. Plus, you really want to hunt for your food for the rest of your life? With me, you get it both ways. Savagery and someone to clean up after you. Sounds nice, huh? Ugh, as if. That life isn't for me, bro. Very impressed that you can speak with implied quotation marks. Very cool. The guy's a total douche nozzle. Try hard much? He's like the turn of the century Pacific Northwest version of all Wall Street, bro. Trust me, it tracks. Patrick Bateman with a huge chip on his shoulder. You wouldn't go with him if he were brandishing a cleaver. Yo, shit, he is. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm into a quieter lifestyle. I relish my independence and don't need someone to wipe my butt for me. You run back to the huge arms of Huntress. She hugs you tight. So tight, you think you might feel the life leave your body for just a moment. But it hurts so good. You know what? I'm impressed that you stood up to me. I appreciate someone giving me their totally honest opinion, even if that opinion makes me want to carve out your liver. And the butt wiping comment? That's not what I meant by clean up after you. I'm hiring someone to do that for me the moment I get home. Trapper leaves, and you turn to Huntress, walking in slow motion back into the water. It's pretty weird. He's just gonna stay in there all night? Shall we continue our date? Huntress leads you back to her cabin. You thought you'd remember the way, but it's like the forest has completely changed. Nothing is familiar. Better not get lost out here. Can you believe that guy? Classic Trapper pulling a move like that. I'm so glad you chose me, though. I don't think we've explored all there is between us yet. She winks a bunny-masked eye and scoops you up onto her back. Huntress runs through the woods with you piggyback riding her. The wind ruffles your hair. Animals clear a path for the mighty woods woman as she races by like the lead from that famous teen vampire drama in that one scene where he calls her a spider monkey. Huntress doesn't call you that. I'm going to assume that's Twilight. I've never actually seen the movies. Whee! Eventually she lowers you to the ground and you take in your surroundings. A wooded clearing in the forest. Huntress prances around like a deer in a meadow. I like to come here sometimes to clear my head and hack up a few cute woodland creatures. Foxes are my favorite to slaughter. They think they're so cute and sly, but I see right through them. They're just assholes. Great with hot sauce. Huntress hears rustling and darts off to find its source, crouching down like an animal. Now you're alone in the middle of the forest. Which way did you come from again? No idea. Your sense of direction is all off. A mellifluous voices floats through the air, landing upon your ears like syrupy honey. Come find me. Oh, that was terrible. This one's hard. As I nail that one. Tag! You bop Hunter on the shoulder when you find her. She high-fives you. You trying to date this young lady or just bro down all day? You're so good at hiding. I'm having a real blast. Thanks. They say it takes 10,000 hours of practice to get good at something. Well, I have like 2,900 in Dead by Daylight, so... halfway there. Hey, they do say that. That was fun, huh? I keep trying to just relax and have a good time, but that's really hard for me. Anytime I let my guard down, something terrible happens. You gotta save it. You gotta save it. Like what? Sometimes I find young girls in the woods, like perfect angels that need my protection. If I turn my back for a moment, I wind up dying. That got dark. But you feel like Huntress wouldn't admit this to just anyone. Oh look, Claudette and Dwight are back. Okay, we swear we're here for good reason this time. Yeah, no one's manipulating us this time. It's just time for dinner. Come and get grub. What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining. And that's not just the remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. No, you are really feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry, I'll keep your dirty little secrets. But enough gentle ribbing. It's time to get back to business. All the appetizing singles have arrived for dinner, including Trickster. Wraith is here too. We're not going to do the gag where we all cram them on screen at the same time again, so just believe me, they're all here. They're just as sexy and demented as you remember them. With your love on the line, everyone is being very careful to not offend you by saying the wrong thing. Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm as surprised as you are that these four are falling for you. No, not because of your personality, but because you've just met them yesterday. However, since Wraith seems like the biggest long shot to end up holding onto your heart, he throws caution to the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being the least loved killer on Murderer's Island, but hey, letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least we can do. And heaven knows, they won't do any better than that. I'm sick of watching everyone else gorge themselves while I'm preoccupied with, trying to get to the bottom of this never-ending nightmare. So tonight, none of that. Not really hungry anyway. So I say we just do a simple salad or something? The green kind, not the mayo kind. Mayo's gross. I'm fine with just lettuce. Doesn't have to be fancy. Not iceberg, though. Has no nutritional value. I mean, it's literally just water. Letting Wraith choose was a mistake. That's on all of us. Dinner will be served shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day. Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You've had an interesting day, that's for sure. But how will you describe it to the others? Say too much or too little, and it could affect your standing with the group. Okay, but don't just sit there saying nothing. Nothing is not an option. Tell of your brush with death. Today was nuts. We went to Hunter's secret cabin and killer crabs attacked us. It's true. I'll fall asleep tonight to the delicious sound of crunching oh my god, I'm gonna say this wrong. Crustaceans. That would never have happened on my yacht. That would never have happened on my yacht. I grind them up. Much more satisfying way to kill crabs. At least none of these kind of crabs. I have a little comb on the other kind. Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence. No one trusts anyone now, and they're all very tired. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's the dreary supernatural horror thriller set in Antarctica, not a charming parody dating sim set in an undisclosed tropical paradise. Bony appetit. Don't you mean bone? Nope. Almost everything we serve has a lot of bones in it, even the vegetables. Possible to avoid on this island. Everyone eats without speaking. Tensions are rising, both of the sexual and deadly variety. When everyone finishes, Dwight and Claudette come back to clean up the table. They linger around as they pick up your plate, take your napkin, and dust crumbs off the table. What would you like to say to the servants? Your top-notch service is much appreciated. In fact, here, for us, just for doing our jobs, thank you kindly. Everyone, if you could please be so kind as to follow us to the fire pit, we'd greatly appreciate it. We've been told something big is going to happen, something that will change everything. You can go willingly, or you can go unwillingly. You have no choice. Tough cookies. Did you have a choice in how you said that, dweeb? Yes, and I immediately regret how I did. Good. Something needs to change around here. Fire is rebirth. Fire illuminates the soul. Hope the fire isn't too smoky. Smoke hurts my eyes. I have pretty sensitive eyes. I'm also horribly afraid of it. The fire, I mean, not my eyes, because of childhood trauma involving fire. And finally, everyone starts moving towards the fire pit, only to get away from Wraith's complaining. We take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, and wait for other killers to take their places, wondering who will want to tell a story this time. Will narrator tell a story? They've got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think, are they allowed to simply place thoughts in my mind like this? Doesn't seem fair. Everyone makes their way in, but something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something almost always seems to be happening here, so nothing is probably not a great sign. Oh, cool, and now everyone's looking at you. So, do something. Should I pick someone to tell a story? Could we play charades? Boggle? Well, we were actually thinking, why don't you tell us a story? Wraith points his spine and skull staff thingamajig at you. You duck out of its way. Who knows what that thing could possibly do? Probably shoot lasers. Try not to bore us. We're just very interested in you. Don't speak for me, Huntress. Now you can tell. Now you can't tell if you're warm from the fire or if your nerves are heating up. I know the fire is right here, but if we stop talking about it all the time, we can start to pretend it's not here and doesn't, threaten to burn us all alive. He's not supposed to hear me. Get out of here, Wraith. Fidget was about to make an important decision about telling a story or not. Fine, I'll game to tell a story. I hope it's a mystery. Okay, so what type of story do you want to tell? Romance. Tell a romantic story. But two lovers take poison together and die foaming at the mouth? Or about two strong hunters to meet when they both try to bludgeon the same wily wolverine? Not quite. It's about my parents. They met at a party in college. He was toasting, and she'd been dragged there by some friends. They couldn't have been more different, and yet, as the night went on, they were drawn to each other. She made fun of his taste in music, and he took an interest in her major, women's studies. They were married within 2 months. Wow. Bit too soon if you can trust someone, don't you think? It's so sweet. Exactly. I learned a lot about love from them. If you know, you know. Some people don't need years to be acquainted with their partner. Love could spark from a mere look across the campfire. Now you got their attention. Each killer is fiercely attempting to catch your eye from across the fire pit. Except for Trickster. He was wandered over to the bar and is loudly playing his own music on headphones to drown you out. Okay, that was not a very good story. I don't mean to insult you, but it was actually quite bad. I didn't think it was that bad. Sorry, but this narrative keeps it real. You just can't end there. So who else would you like to hear a story from tonight? You look from killer to killer, trying to decide who might be the most entertaining. Huntress, you seem raring to go. Let's hear from you. Sure thing. My neck of the woods isn't wanting for horrifying mythology. Mother once told me a story of a young man who was traveling back home after the war. Which war? Doesn't matter. I just wanted some backstory details to paint a picture. I'll paint you a picture if you want. The man was lost and running out of food rations. He stopped to rest for the night underneath a majestic birch tree. That's when he saw the woman, naked, skin glistening in the twilight glow. Hot. I'm invested. They sang a haunting melody as they made their way downhill towards the inviting lake. Enchanted by the music, the young man followed the parade of beautiful women until they stopped in a clearing next to the water. They turned to him and smiled. One woman with long red hair stepped forward and reached for his hand. The others began to play music. Flutes, lutes, tambourines. The melody was intoxicating. The man's feet began to move beneath him. He was dancing, moved by the magical music of these mysterious women. Twilight darkened into night and the man grew weary. But when he tried to still his moving feet, he found that he could not. "Help! I cannot stop dancing!" he cried to the nearest woman, a slender woman with green hair. She drew near to him, and he saw her features distort into something horrific. She was bloated, an eye hanging from one socket, skin the color of algae. It was Sokka, her true self. "You'll never stop dancing," she screeched at him. "My sisters and I were drowned in this lake by men of your regiment. Consider this your punishment." The man cried out, "But it wasn't me." "Someone must pay," the Rosoko said, her voice filled with briny malice. And so the man danced and danced until his bones broke and his heart gave out. The dance of death. A silent beat as everyone takes in this macabre ending. But it's not all bad. Rosakos are fertility goddesses. If a lady has stumbled across them, she would have been blessed with a fruitful womb and probably some candy for the road. Damn, does she really think that's a happy ending? I want what Huntress is having. How was story time? A lot of people like to take pot shots at sequels, but I think every good story deserves a follow-up. When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as rewarding as the original. That's why it's much more a fan of the episodic style of storytelling. Knowing it's a series takes a lot of pressure off any individual installment and builds a greater sense of community between audience and creator. Tell me, Fidget, if you could delete any sequel from existence, what would it be? Don't answer that. We don't actually care. We're just here to make sure that we seemingly move on to the next segment of the evening. God forbid my small talk in the way of a romantic Twilight moment. Dwight, can you just shut your yap trap? You know what we need to get back to. That thing we do whenever we're not on screen. Okay. You have fun tonight and try not to, wink wink, end up dead. Why did you say the words wink wink out loud? And what kind of double entendre are you getting at with the end up dead thing? Dwight is physically incapable of winking, not since the accident. And you do know that all these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kills, right? Well, except for Spirit. She doesn't really belong here. She's strictly a victim, not a perpetrator. No wonder she's pissed. Did I hear someone trash-talking Spirit? Deal me it. What do you say we take this talk to the hot tub so I can soak this bod while I roast the ghost with some killer hot takes? Please, enough talk of burns, things that are lit or getting blazed. It's enough that these activities have to be set next to a literal fire, but it must be surrounded by figurative flames as well. What if we turned and ran as far away from this place as we could, just you and me? On those spindly legs, you'd probably tire before you got too far. If it's running away to someplace more secluded Fidget is after, they should obviously join me. Have you seen these legs? Pure power. Not that my walk speed really reflects my giant stature, but that's because I choose to move solely for stealthy reasons. It's my own choice and it's completely logical. Why is everyone so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama? It's so over all that. Don't you get it? Society wants to trick you into fighting with each other so that corporations can swoop in and sell you fake solutions to all your fabricated problems. I'll be sitting in the shade, drinking something locally sourced with thumbling through a public domain novella printed in recycled paper because I refuse to play their game anymore. It's like she's actually trying to be as unappealing as possible. Does it really turn anyone else on, or is it just me? Despite Trapper's insatiable appetite, it seems his attention, along with the attention of everyone else, is still on you for the moment. If you could, I don't know, just pick one of us, maybe we could all move on with our lives and, some special projects we might have going. You heard him. What will it be? Who will you head off with for an evening activity? Just saying, you might not get a ton of chance to date around like this before your time on Murderer's Island comes to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either. But with this streaming reality TV dating show boom happening, it's pretty much all that wasn't taken. Which killer will you pick? And yes, we're back to excluding Trickster because, that guy. Huntress? I had the feeling you'd pick me. You got a good taste. And I don't just say that because I'm considering eating you. Huntress licks her lips as she eyes you up and down. You never felt like a literal piece of meat this much in your life before. What have you gotten yourself into? Let's go over to the bar. I'm gonna make you something special. Into something special. You and Huntress whisk yourselves away to the bar. When you arrive, you find an arrangement of arts and craft supplies. What are those taxidermy tools? Cool. Are you freaking out? I'm not freaking out. You wonder what's going on through Huntress's head. Though she's bubbly and enthusiastic, you're always terrified she might snap. Something on your mind? She smiles. Drink this. Oh. Huntress hands you a seemingly normal tropical cocktail. If one were to drug you into some sort of state in which you could be operated on, these flavors would certainly hide the poison. You look around and consider what else there is to live for besides becoming Huntress' little toy, and the conclusion is bombs away. You pound the drink. It's quite nice. I've been thinking about making you a present, a mask. Would you be into that? Yes, of course. I've always admired yours. What would you like? And it can't be a dog, even though I know you like them. There was this ex. They were really into Doberman and two into them. It's a long story. What about a rabbit mask? A rabbit mask. What is like yours, please? Oh. Huntress is annoyed, but then her face lights up. Oh wait, is this brilliant? We can use this as a tactical advantage. Like there's two of us, we can attack from both sides. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Well, I know what I'm going to be working on tonight. All alone in my skimpy pajamas. Huntress winks at you. Should we like just get out of here? You're getting pretty sleepy. Should we like just get out of here? You go get directly into your bed? That's not how tonight goes. I mean, it's not how it's supposed to go. Not yet, at least. Ah, you kooky kids.
Soon.
Huntress, I tried. You've got lots of hobbies. Why don't you share something with us that you're passionate about? Something less deadly than throwing axes or chasing survivors. Maybe? Just a thought? Making more masks? Or wait, making matching gloves? No, you little joker. Think of a different type of making. Make our victims die fast, medium, or slow deaths depending on the mood we're in. Turn around and be careful what you wish for on Murderer's Island. Dwight, I need your help. Doing something in a different place entirely. You read my mind. Meet you there. I'm talking about mycology. You know, mushrooms? I picked a lot of them, and I'm very familiar with which ones make for a great soup base and which ones make you super dead. I'll show you 2 mushrooms. You point out which one's safe to eat. That sounds easy enough. I feel like this is the obvious death one, but is this going to be one of those trickery things? Oops. This is a... After eating one, if the diarrhea doesn't kill you, your liver... Yeah. Next up, this one's very easy. I'm sure you'll nail it. Point at the one who won't result in the most instant death if you eat it. Oh, you would have just eaten a dead... Not very good at this. It's about Deadly Dappling, which has a name that is both adorable and, well, deadly. Adorable and deadly. Anyone like that? Final question. Which will make you jump for joy, and which will make you vomit until you die? Ah, geez, I'm sorry. There's the Destroying Angel. It's very deadly. Not to be confused with the Wish-Granting Angel, which is what you might imagine you see when you're hallucinating on your deathbed after chowing down on one of these. Wow, I've lost all those. I like flex a little more than just my biceps for you. All right, let's see here. Tell your answers, and let's hope you hunt better than you forage, because you're bad at foraging. Very bad. Get us all killed bad. Huntress claps her hand giddily. Appreciate you spending time with me tonight. I know the other killers are all very alluring in their own way. It means a lot that you'd spend time with a forest bumpkin such as myself. Wait. You're no bumpkin. You're a strong, independent woman. Don't demean yourself. Huntress leaps in you, knife to your throat. She's angry, but also turned on. This is pretty hot. Am I about to die? Did we just fail? Claudia and Dwight are gathering everyone together on the beach. Typical. Like what the voice said. I'm telling you, and I'm being honest, you're the only one who can hear me. That didn't go very well. That went very poorly. The gang's all together again on the volleyball court. Seems like only yesterday you were sitting on the sidelines watching everyone get sweaty. That's because it was? Oi. Feels like I've been here a lot longer than actually. It's so late. The sun is already beginning to rise. Better get this over with quickly so that you can get some beauty rest. I do not recommend the internal damnation of perpetual narratordom. Good thing you've really used your time well since then. Getting to know the gang, the brain, the mogul, the basket case, the psychotic bunny girl. You know, the 4 types of people. Anyway, everyone's gathered in the volleyball court for a new type of game. Pick your dream date and see who Fidget chooses. Ready for a round robin? How round we talking? No, not to eat, Huntress. Each killer gets 2 minutes to tell you about the dream date they have planned for you tomorrow. No particular order, which is a weird thing to mention, right? Almost like the order does matter. Spirit, why don't you go first? Get this over with, and then you can go back to reading your book. Stop talking. Hit us, Spirit. Figuratively, damn it, Dwight, you gotta watch your words with these people. Tomorrow, you'll spit in the face of God, die, and be reborn anew. That's it. If you're not intrigued by that, I don't want you. Go draw crayon art with Trapper, dig up whatever mysteries with Wraith. I don't know what these guys do all day. Do you want to at least specifically which god you'll be spitting in the face of? All of them. Okay, then. So Hydra tonight, if you tend to hang out with Spirit. So anyway, Wraith. Well, I don't know. I'd really prefer just to tell Fidget privately. Don't really know what's going on to work with these game mechanics. But if you just whisper it to Fidget, Wraith considers that for a long moment. Too long. That's fine. Without moving, Wraith lowers his voice to a barely audible whisper. Tomorrow we have to find my bell, and then I can finally let you know what I've been working on. It's gonna be really special. The kind of thing where we will really bond, and maybe finally get off this island, and then maybe we can go on a real date. You done? Is that it? Wraith nods, proud. Trapper, without further ado, would like us to make us all uncomfortable, pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable not only in polite society, but with the narrative of this in-world event and also the larger meta-narrative of a Dead by Daylight dating experience. Sometimes you just gotta say it. Ah, yes, thank you. I'd love to. So, Fidget, you're thinking of picking me? Well, this is your final warning. Pick me and be punished. And rewarded? Tomorrow will suck. Probably. Uneasy guy to get along with. I know that. But I can tell you this much. I'm hiding a secret on this island that will make fans shit themselves with excitement. If you like Trapper, you're gonna love it. If you're not a maggot, also, everyone confident, sexy ladies and rabbit masks better stay the hell away from my yacht. Great. Huntress, why don't you take it from here? Tomorrow morning, I'm planning a nice atmospheric breakfast on the yacht. Don't worry, Trapper won't even know it's gone. What was that? Nothing. Go away. Then, boy, oh boy, we've got such an adventure planned. It involves hunting for treasure. What kind of treasure are we looking for? Guess you'll have to pick me and find out. Let me tell you, it's primo stuff. Now, if you don't mind, we gotta start preparing because it's clear already that you're going to pick me. Confident, mysterious. I like it. And time's up, everyone. Gosh, you'll need to dream about these options as you're ready to choose in the morning. Now, go dream about all these swoon-worthy options so that you're ready to make a choice. Come dawn. Have a swell night. Did you forget to mention something? Oh gosh, how could we forget? Before you run off to slumber peacefully, there's one more thing to do. No reality survival dating competition parody would be complete without singling out one of our contestants who is already teetering on the edge of a psychological break and giving them a little push. Hold up, this has been a survival dating competition parody this entire time and I'm now just finding out about it? Come on, the signs were there. You just didn't read them. Welcome to Murderer Island. It's now time to eliminate one of the killers. Oof, it's like a butchering, but it hurts even worse.
You can't kill a killer. You can break their heart. Do you even dare to try?
You mean, that's right. Tomorrow, one of these sexy slicers will not be eligible to take you on a date. Who's it gonna be? But why? Because it's dramatic? Because it's surprising? Because it's a classic reversal of fate? And it will hurt someone's feelings? Someone dangerous. What's it gonna be, champ? What's your thought process here? Trapper seems like he might throttle you in your sleep if you eliminate him. That being said, at least you could see him coming. Spirit could be anywhere. She floats, and I hear she can disappear. Hard to track. Eek, if you get rid of Wraith, he might cry, and although I totally support normalizing men crying and being vulnerable, it just seems like he might be an ugly crier. Huntress, she might pretend to be okay with it, but then you'll start seeing her behind every tree. What I'm trying to say is, I don't envy you, boss. So which psychopath are you eliminating? So I've eliminated Trapper before, and I think Huntress is the other one I've eliminated. So let's go Wraith this time. Look, I'm here and I'm horny and I'm not really getting positive reinforcement from you, Wraithy Poo. Please don't take this personal. Just my opinion of you and who you are and what you're about deep down as a person and how I don't like it. Like, give me something, you know? A kiss, a wink, hold my hand. Finish telling me about all this mysterious stuff you're obsessed with. Or better yet, don't. Wraith rises, taller than you've ever seen him, and calmly walks to the exit. Before he leaves, he turns to you. When you came here, I thought perhaps you'd be different. I don't know how my last bit of hope in humanity hadn't been snuffed out, but it wasn't. It is now. You are just like the rest of them. There's no hope of goodness here. The only thing I can do is try and escape. Or burn everything and everyone to the ground. Poor Wraith! Of all the characters, he's the one I feel the most bad for. Now that you've broken the heart of someone heartless, well, not yet. You should go get some shut-eye. And don't worry too much about the broken heart you've left behind. Because of course, they'll be receiving a consolation prize. You might not get to go home with Fidget when this is all over, but they'll never sleep alone again. That's right, we're sending our eliminated player home with their own mostly new Trickster body pillow. Next best thing is the real Trickster. Might not hug you back, but it definitely won't try and stab you. And how do we know? Because I've tried it. That's right, it's Dwight tested. Claudette approved. Hope you sleep well tonight, Fidget. You're my hero for what you've accomplished. How can you sleep tonight knowing what you've done? No, not because of guilt. I mean, knowing there's legit homicidal maniac who hates you so close by.
How can you sleep tonight, knowing what you'll do tomorrow? I don't know how you'll do it, but you better go before Dwight and Claudette come back and put you to sleep themselves. You know those two. Schedule, schedule, schedule.
Wow, what a crazy way to end the day. An elimination? I didn't know it was that kind of game. Let's check in with everyone, especially with our loser. Everyone deserves a send-off. I can't help it if I have thick arms and legs that go until they stop. I knew we had a connection from the moment I saw them through my mask. You can never be sure what's going on with the newcomer's mind, but I like my odds for tomorrow. It's so fun hunting for love and not for food or vengeance for a change. I know I said some things when Fidget kicked me to the curb, and I just want to say I'm embarrassed for how I acted. Not what I said, though. I stand by it. I want everyone here to burn. How would I say things are going? It's a matter of perspective. Fidget's goal is to impress me, things are going poorly. But if Fidget's goal is to get themselves killed, they're doing an amazing job. Did I think there was a chance I might get eliminated? Yeah, I did. Did I care if I get eliminated? Not even a little. Does the volume of words I spend talking about how much I don't care about things signify a deeper yearning within me to be seen, heard, and validated by those around me? Nah. What? You're not a part of this? You don't get a confessional. It's cool, man. I'm not part of anything, you feel me? I'm not a cog in anyone's machine, my own machine. The whole thing is pretty cute, though. Charmingly low budget, old school marketing vibes. Not gonna lie, I kind of wish I wasn't so busy right now. I'd definitely be down with a reality show style dating competition with survival elements. But I got my new album, upcoming tour, finalizing a new sneaker line, producing a limited series of my life, starting a new social media NFT crypto app, and doing these private gigs over on IP Island. My dudes, you gotta come check it out. IP Island is dope. It's where the real killers are hanging out. Fully licensed, no legal drama, lawyers, take a hike. I'm gonna tell everyone that Trickster said that about them. Don't worry. I'm talking your favorite established characters from all over pop culture that can't be seen on this island. Hell, you probably can't even mention them, like Don't you say it. Look, we get it. You're very popular and in demand, but we have a game to get back to, and I don't want to get sued. Ghostface! Come on! Whatever, I don't even care. I'm the Trickster. See you around, Fidget. You too, narrator. I have a name, you know. You do? Yes! Seriously, they're not paying me enough to deal with you people.
Is it my turn?
What? No, it's not your turn. You're sentient water. How are you even sitting in that chair?
What's a chair?
It's the thing you're getting all wet. Now it's gonna smell like mildew.
Okay, rude.
Fine. Just get this over with. It's your turn, Ocean. Do your check-in.
Check-in? I was just looking for the bathroom.
Bathroom? Are you serious? It's down the hall to the left.
It's okay. Never mind.
Never mind? What does that even mean? No, not you two. That wasn't meant to be a confessional time for literally every character in this game. It's okay. We don't have to confess to anything. We've just been working our asses off for 2 days straight and want to sit down somewhere. This chair is wet. Yeah, I think the Ocean just peed on it. How is that possible? You know what? I don't care. You two are looking pretty pleased with yourselves. I've got something to confess. Oh, great. What's it going to be? You ate glue in the 2nd grade? You cheated on an algebra test once? Watching Wraith get eliminated was the first time this unending spiral staircase of pain that is my life that I have felt a modicum of joy. Every minute that I'm alive is a nightmare. This place, this sun, the sweet sugary drinks, it sounds fun for a long weekend, but for an eternity? The unrelenting rhythm of crashing waves and wailing seagulls. It's like a crescendoing song of evil that makes me question the very foundation of the universe. Why am I here? Why are any of us here? What kind of sentient being would do this? Please erase me from this existence. Make it so I was never born. Pull the plug on this experiment and let my soul be free, and please, please get me out of this polo shirt. Okay, let's get you to bed, buddy. I don't want to go to bed. Going to bed means eventually I'll have to wake up. Yikes, huh? That was a weird way to end. Oh, well, what are you going to do? You let the camera roll long enough, someone's bound to say something crazy. Anyway, seems like everyone's had their shot to annoy me tonight, so hit the hay and get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be a doozy. Soft sunlight warms your skin, nudging you awake. Also, you're using killer crab as a pillow, which is sort of okay with. You pull on your beach tire and splash water in your face. Dwight and Claudette approach. But the look on their faces, excitement? Terror? You notice your stomach flutters with butterflies. Someone's in love. Or you've been infected with zombie butterflies in your sleep. It has happened here before, but it's probably the love thing. It's time! Claudette gestures over to the beach where the killers all stand flanked by tiki torches. It's a scene very reminiscent of a TV show you used to hate watch with your ex. Suddenly the message is clear. You're going to declare your affections for a killer in front of several other killers. Hey, isn't Trickster supposed to be here? We paid him good money to make some half-assed cameos in this show. I'm going to chew his agent out. Before they walk you over for the big moment, don't think we haven't noticed how kind you've been to us, Fidget. Can't be easy. Being thrown into a mysterious island for seemingly no real reason, surrounded by terrifying killers, trying to manage your most primal impulses, murder and making out. You've kept a cool head and treated us, your friendly island host, with dignity and respect. So don't tell anyone we told you this, but Claudette and Dwight look around conspiratorially. Just a little hint for you. Going forward, don't try and go all the way with a killer who isn't into you. Relationships are two-way streets. If you don't have a green light in the other direction, you might end up in the friend zone. The friend zone? Doesn't sound so bad. Where do you think you are exactly? Dead by Daylight doesn't do friends. There are killers and there are survivors, and I'm afraid we can't say more. Okay, so who's into me? Claudette and Wyatt look around conspiratorially again. Well, I've seen the sparks flying between you and Huntress. I saw her whittling a little figurine of you last night while everyone was asleep. So are you ready? Of course you're not, but too bad. We're on a schedule. Make your way over to the row of hotties. Claudette and Dwight stand off to the side, hands behind their backs. In quite the 48 hours, there are clearly sparks in the air. And I'm not just talking about the rusty chainsaw, though I do recommend staying away from the sparks. It's time for our newcomer to confess their love. Wait, I have to do a drum roll for this. No, you don't, but who cares? Fidget, who do you choose for your solo date? Can we at least do the flower thing? Dwight, oh, we agreed to keep that between us. No, not the flower thing. The thing where the student gets a flower as a symbol of the contestant's love and affection. Oh, right. I suppose. But no roses. Such a cliche at this point. Well, that's good, because I tried to pick a rose, but I got an ouchie, so I settled for these. Beautiful. You've done good, Dwight. This is a lovely bouquet. I hope Dwight saved some of these for Claudette. They're a thing, right? You're getting that vibe too? Just me? Sorry, you got other things to talk about right now. Fidget, who do you select to receive these flowers and spend the day with today? Huntress. Turn to Huntress. She's never looked more appealing. Her Captain dress ruffles behind her in the light morning breeze. A seagull lands on her shoulder like she's a beachy cartoon princess. She snaps the seagull's neck and stuffs it somewhere under her flowy dress. Probably to save for lunch. She can't help but hunt. Huntress, I choose you. Let's spend the day together and see if we think a future is possible for our love. Me? Really? Huntress throws her hands up in the air like a bear and gallops towards you. At first you think she might swipe at you with her gigantic hands and knock the life out of you. Instead, she scoops you up into a hug and takes her place at your side. And she just stuck her tongue out at all the other killers. Sometimes the immature move is the right one. I'm sure it's sure to be a fun day. We'll just be here and not getting to really participate, even though survivors matter too, while you go off and have a grand old time. Yep, just Claudette and I hanging out, no one competing for our love, wondering what we did in a past life to end up embroiled in this unrelenting misery. But go have a blast. Huntress eagerly leads you to the yacht, to begin your romantic day together. Huntress eagerly leads you to the yacht to begin your romantic day together. You have to admit, warm salty air on your skin, the sound of crashing waves. This is a pretty perfect morning. Just you and Huntress.
Hey cuties.
Ah, Ocean's here too.
Did you know that I'm teeming with flesh-eating bacteria and dead bodies?
That pesky Ocean, always killing the vibe. You turn to Huntress. You sure you're okay here on the ocean? I know you don't like to be out in the open. Something about being here with you makes me feel safe. You both sit down at a beautifully set table on the deck of the boat. A wide spread of mouth-watering breakfast goodies are arranged in front of you. Can we get you anything? You look a bit green. I get extremely seasick, and Trickster replaced all the island's Dramamine with party drugs, so how did we get here? Aren't they just on the beach consoling the rejected killers? Are there more than 2 of them? You motion one of them over. Well, but take a screwdriver. Hold the orange juice. Of course. Hey, can you play that particular song for us? Set the mood. You hand Dwight a piece of paper with the song title written on it. Sure, though I doubt Trapper has it in his vinyl collection. Soon, the haunting melody of Huntress's Mother lullaby steams through the yacht's expensive stereo system. The boat rocks as though to the rhythm of the song. The eerie, melancholy mood. It's really quite romantic. Breakfast has never been this intimate. You reach out to touch Huntress's hand when suddenly a loud bellow scares you. You knock your freshly poured flute of straight vodka into the pristine deck. It's Trapper! He's screaming at us from the beach! Look how tiny he looks from all the way out here. Huntress squishes his head between her fingers like a child and giggles. Damn you both! The chairs you're sitting on are worth more than your lives! Get back here! He's not wrong. Hey, Claudette. Take us out farther. Aye, Captain. Can she drive a boat? Guess we'll find out. Alone again. Nothing but the caw of a seagull and the ominous shadow of a creature lurking beneath the waves. I have something for you. For me? Huntress reveals a package wrapped in a bloodied apron. You clap your hands like a kid on their birthday. Her playful attitude is rubbing off on you. I made that mask you asked for. I almost forgot. But I bet you didn't. This is the whole reason you pursued Huntress, I bet. Definitely to get a mask of your own. No other reason. Here you go. Aww. It's perfect. You put it on. It fits your face like a face glove. You gaze at Huntress through the eyes of the mask. A swell of emotion surges through you. One has become 2. Rabbits be multiplying, even in mask form. Let's go back to my place. She downs her screwdriver. Tension is palpable as you enter the cabin. You could cut it with a hatchet. Give me a break. It's day 3 of killer jokes. A narrator only has so much mojo. Huntress sits you down at the cluttered table in the kitchen. You notice the bloodstains that have crept into every nook and cranny of the wooden planks. What poor creature died on this table? Did they suffer?
What do you care if they suffered?
Get back in the ocean, Ocean! Stop backseat ominous narrating. Stay here, and don't move a muscle, or I'll hear it. I can hear any mammal's tendons creak as they stretch. It's a gift and a curse. I'll be right back. Alone in the cabin. What to do? What to do? Wait. I don't want to freak out, but am I going to insult her by cleaning things up? Uh-oh. Clean up. Everyone do your share. There's a flock of adorable birds and cute little mice to come sprinting in and help you, but they don't, because this isn't some fantasy. This is gritty. This is real. Plus, I'm pretty sure she kills all the adorable birds and cute little mice. So you put her around the room by yourself, organizing Hunter's various trinkets collections. Old bottles over here, discarded vintage doll parts over there, various keys that don't open anything in particular. Does she have a drawer filled with these? Everyone has a drawer like that. Then you lay a blanket down in front of the fireplace. For no reason. No reason at all. You're certainly not imagining all the naughty things you could do that could go down on such a blanket. What's that in her strong yet delicate hand? You reach out for her, longing to stroke her blood-matted hair and scratched up shoulders. I thought we could get warm by the fire. She wags a finger at you, a bunnylicious smirk on her face. Not so fast. Remember when we talked about how there's more going on here? You nod like a little idiot. Well, I know there's something up. The other night you were sleeping on like a cute little baby. snuck into each of the other killers' lairs and saw them with shiny objects they've been stealing from me. I think they're connected somehow. Maybe it has to do with the symbol. I tried to go back last night, but something blocked me from picking any of the objects up. Someone or something knows I'm onto them. I think if you try, it might work. What do you say? Will you help? Hell yeah. Hell yes, I will. A globe-trotting treasure hunt level of Nicolas Cage masterpiece? You can definitely count me in. Let's go. I'll be your guardian angel. You know when those other killers might pop up. You grab Huntress by the hand and practically trip over your own feet on your way out the door. Feels good to have a quest. Thrilling. But part of you is just wondering how quickly you can get through this and impress Huntress. Soon she'll take you in her yoked arms and you'll swoon. Your childhood crush on Popeye is making more and more sense. Where do you want to start? Is Wraith gonna set me on fire? There are 4 killers who have stolen from Huntress. You're not gonna let them get away with it. Which one will you investigate? Trapper's Cave. There are 2 ways to get to Trapper's Cave. Due to the whole, trap-based character theme he's got going on, you can rest assured that either one or both of these pathways is filled with traps. You turn to Huntress for advice, but she only giggles and shrugs her shoulders. You're on your own, it seems. Through the forest? Ah, yes, the forest. Underground, I mean, come on. Putting yourself in the ground voluntarily? That's just asking to be buried. Dead alive, doesn't matter. The surface is where you belong. Light descending through the leaves of the trees casts a hazy glow as you wander into the brush, leaving the cabin behind. But no matter, this is Huntress' domain. You think that'll keep you safe, eh? Well, you thought wrong. As soon as you take a step off the beaten path, it lands in one of the Trapper's bear traps. He swore he'd get you. He can hear his mechanical laughing as you bleed out. Ha ha ha, you stepped in one of my bear traps that I swore I'd get you with. I just said that. I've seen a lot of trapped animals and I can confirm he got you. Oh well, crap. It's fatal. Darn it, Trapper, not again. Everyone back to ones. Okay, so not that one. Oh my god. We're gonna cut here.
A few moments later.
And we're back. Go to Trapper's Cave. Underground tunnel. Underground, huh? Sounds secretive. No one can stop you if they can't see you. That said, no one can rescue you if they can't hear you scream. And nobody will need to waste time burying you if you're already underground when you die. You're not gonna die, are you? Surely a dimly lit tunnel like this must be rife with traps. However, you manage to make your way along, distinctly uncaught by any traps, rusty bear, or otherwise. You got this. You're doing great. You're not at all afraid? Who, me? Nah, I gotta say, this is up there among the nicest, damp, and seemingly abandoned tunnels I've ever wandered through. Look, it even has lights. Inspired by Hunter's bravery, you dig deep inside yourself and summon a courage of your own, which is good because you're going to need it if you're going to head through this very murdery-looking passageway ahead. You enter into a humid, shadowy cave. Dripping water echoes all around you. It's definitely not cozy like the cabin you left behind. You wonder, how deep does the pool of shining water go? Let's get this over with. When your eyes adjust the darkness, you see Trapper. He leans against the wall of a cave like a detective in an old film noir. I knew you'd come. Trapper, get out of our way or I'll skewer you and serve you for lunch. You're wasting your time. You'll never find what you're looking for. Unless what you're looking for is a minigame. What? A minigame? How unexpected. How playful. How about you play it right now? Find Hunter's lost shiny thing. Heal them eyes. You're on the hunt now. Perfect. Perfect. Ooh, not bad. Perfect. Oh, terrible. You found... I mean, we're great. We're the best in the video game. You did it. You found my lost shiny object. I'm so grateful I could kiss you right now, but I won't because I'm pretty sure Trapper didn't actually leave and he's still over that shadow watching us. Later, Trapper, you thieving little perv. Hey, that's not fair. I'm huge. Come on, Fidget. Let's go to the next place. You found a Hunter's shiny thing, and well, it looks... I think it's just a regular old pen. But we don't need to point it out. She's happy. That's all that matters. 4 killers have stolen from Huntress. You're not going to let them get away with it. You've been to Trapper's dank little hideaway, so I need to go back there. Which one will you investigate? Can we save? We can't. Okay. Let's go to Wraith because he might be mad at us. When you arrive at Wraith's oddball hangout zone, you immediately understand why they call it the cosmic dump. They being me, OBS. It's as if there are items and elements from all over the universe in this place. Also, it's a damn mess. It's undoubtedly a special place. The very air you breathe makes you feel that you're part of something much, much larger. I'm gonna go hunt us some lunch while you find the object. You'll know it when you see it because it's extremely shiny. Oh, how long have you been standing there? Are we ever really there? I don't have time for your existential crisis today, Wraith. Huntress and I are totally gonna get it on soon, I think. I hope. Look, I need to find a special object you have hidden here. You stole it from Huntress and she knows it. So you're trying to figure out this whole thing too, huh? Come check this out. Bit of a subject change, but sure, it's Wraith we're dealing with after all. Wraith leads you to a telescope, though through it you can see a far-off island in the distance. Holy smokes, Sorry, I had no idea what it is. Would you mind filling me in? It's IP Island, where all the coolest killers from intellectual properties that we're legally obliged not to mention by name hang out and party with Hollywood celebs and Silicon Valley moguls. That's not even all. Zoom in over there. Hey, it's Ghostface! I said not to name them. Jeez, now I'm gonna have to clear the rights. You have no idea how much my lawyer charges by the hour. I'm sorry, he just kind of popped up. I'm telling you, something crazy is going on here. I hope he doesn't kill me. I'll have you know, I wasn't trying to steal anything from Huntress. I was just looking for answers, but also occasionally losing said answers. Yep, that's right. The thing you're looking for, I can't actually find, so good luck, I guess. Oh good, a minigame. Haven't seen one of these before in the past 10 seconds. Oh, that was terrible. You see an old pair of glass on the ground and quickly grab them. Oh, good. I thought I was going to lose. You found it. So shiny. I knew I could count on you, Fidget. And that's just saying something, because I literally never learned to count via any traditional system of numbers. Let's get out of here. We got the glasses. Hard to believe these old glasses really mean anything special, but Lady like Huntress deserves whatever she wants. Spend a moment imagining Huntress with glasses. Does she wear them over the mask or under? Hey, that's not some junk. Those are my reading glasses. I just described the highlights. God. There are 4 killers who have stolen from Huntress. We're not going to let them get away with it. We've been to Trapper's dank little hideaway, so there's no need to go back there. As for Ray's hangout, they're already covered. Which one will you investigate? We'll go to the lighthouse. Can I save? Hopefully that wasn't bad that I just overwrote that. Just in case we die, hopefully you won't have to redo the other 2. Place is spooky as heck. Wasn't the beach sunny and beautiful just a moment ago? So you're telling me your precious shiny thing is up there? It's pretty great, right? Finally a good chance to activate these quads. You don't get legs like this from standing still. But you already know I love a good workout. Running, jumping, climbing, roughhousing. Get that damn shiny thing before your immeasurable horniness melts your brain and it runs down out of your ears already. Yeah, I called it out. It's obvious to everyone. Just own it. So, shall we? Inside the lighthouse, it's so dark that you can barely see the step in front of you. But that's okay, because you've got about 100 stairs to practice getting the hang of this in the dark. However, something about this gloomy pace is really wearing you out and messing with your otherwise happy, horny aura. You can practically feel your mood going down, down, down as you climb up, 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 higher into the lighthouse before you finally arrive at the top. Spirit, you're looking pretty pleased with yourself. Yeah, I'm getting this hang of this whole being dead thing. Did you totally get sadder the closer you got to the top of the tower? That was me, baby. We gotta share the wealth, and by wealth, I mean unending despair. You're probably here for one of your precious shiny things that I've stolen. Good luck finding it. I'll be over here reading if you need me. Let's find this shiny thing. Anything to brighten the mood in here. Don't miss the treasure. This is a treasure hunt, not a treasure miss. At least it's generous with like the hitboxes in classic DVD fashion. Boom! Yes! You're really going a long way to prove your dedication to me. You know I noticed, right? I can see a raccoon lick itself from 200 yards away in pitch darkness. I definitely see you working that little butt off for me. The shiny thing get. You found a bottle opener, really? This is the fancy item? Whatever, you're a real team player. Hey, no, stop. Spirit doesn't even look up from her book. I think it'll be fine if you just peace out. There are 4 clues of stolen from Huntress. You've been trappers. We've been to Rays. Yeah. The Trickster stage. You arrive at Trickster stage, but there's no one here. Not Trickster, not an audience, not anybody. Nothing eerier than an empty concert venue. Think of all the fringe that once swayed here. The beers that sloshed over red solo cups. Mosh pits, tall guy singing in front of you for the entire show. Lifelong friendships that actually only lasted for one summer. Good times. My concerts are always an experience. You should really come to one of my after parties sometimes. They're a real scream. I'll put you on the VIP list. I prefer acoustic balalakia music. Trickster. I've never listened to your music, and I think sampling the sounds of people's screams is very been there, done that. Hey, no one talks to Trickster like that. And how do you know about my samples? Somebody's obviously a much bigger fan than they're letting on. Show me where Hunter's shiny mysterious object is, or I'll wipe that grin off your face with a chloroform-drenched rag. Way to harsh my mellow. Deranged violence and torture is only cool when I do it because it's my commentary on a shallow society and I make it look sexy as hell. Your thingamajig is that away. Trickster backs away from you and resumes practicing an intricate dance routine. The way you set up that bootleg Backstreet Boy just now was... wow. If I weren't so strong and still on my feet, I'd swoon. It just wouldn't be believable. Find me my shiny thing, champion. That's not bad, yeah. Boom! You did it! Your ability to find the unfindable is quite uncanny. A natural hunter, I must say. Think you might be able to find your heart? I would hope so. It's very important to locate and remove all the internal organs of your prey as soon as you fell them so their meat doesn't spoil. Sexy. Oh, what's this? You found a gold coin. Phew, that was fun and scary. Good to see the other killers are taking their heartbreak in stride, more or less. And you get a really nice tour of some of the island's lesser-known haunts. Boom! Still got it. Make a pretty good team, you and I. What can I say? Appreciate a fine collection. Now that yours is back in order, maybe we head back inside to appreciate it. And you collect a certain other special gift I've been meaning to give you. A special gift? Is it shiny? I suppose it could be. If you oil it up enough. I'm going to be ill. When you enter the cabin, it's dark, barely lit, deep shadows stretching from wall to wall. Somehow it managed to be a little bit terrifying, but also a little romantic. But you barely even notice. You've got other things on your mind. Oh, girl. You're practically undressing each other as you walk through the door. Minds elsewhere. Neither of you realized the door was wide open already. You were incredible. Every time you found one of those objects, my heart beat faster and faster. Your nimble hands. Is there anything they can't find? The fireplace is crackling. Your heart is pounding. The smell of cinnamon is in the air. But wait. Who was that? Huntress quickly pulls her beach cover up back on. My darling. An older Russian woman bearing a striking resemblance to Huntress sits, warming her hands by the fire. She turns to you, and you're shocked to see she appears to come from a completely different time in history, wrapped in old, unfamiliar clothes that are completely out of place here at the beach retreat. Without thinking, you blurt out, "What an honor! It's you! Can't believe this. You're the Mama Huntress. I've been dying to meet you. Well, nearly. Can I help you with anything? Glass of vodka, hatchet, or revenge on the elk who slayed you?" "Oh no, my child. I am quite content. Just happy to know that my little darling is taken care of." Huntress chuckles nervously. "Hi, Mama." Lynette and Dwight burst in like they're in a prank video. Bet you weren't expecting this day to include meeting her mom. What? Hey, Huntress. How do you feel about your dear old mama coming to interrupt your date? Huntress throws a hatchet directly at the two survivors. It skewers the wall in between them. Without another word, they quickly scurry away. Good girl. Huntress turns to you. I hope this is all right. Of course. Of course it's okay. I give great parent. I give great parent. Sure. Huntress breathes a sigh of relief. It's just not the mood I thought we were coming back to, but I'm here now and I'm in it and I'm ready to meet your mama. Thank goodness, because my mother's the only person, most important person in my life. We Russians invented tea. Did you know that? Mama Huntress shoves a cup in your hand. As you drink your tea with her, the air becomes warm around you. You, Huntress, and her mother sit by the fire, exchange stories and anecdotes. Mama pulls out some old-timey pictures of a young Huntress in black and white, holding bloodied animal corpses with a chilling dead-eye stare. You all laugh and eat raw meat of some kind. It's a lovely time, almost like you're back home. You've forgotten that you're on a possibly cursed island atop what is likely some sort of hellmouth. Look, it's not official lore. Let's call it like I see it. Every so often, Mama Huntress clutches her stomach and gives her eye stare into the middle distance. She mutters some sounds of reliving the moment she was skewered by an elk. It's very grim. I like you. Thank you for indulging me in my teen stories. So tell me, what are your intentions with my... That means bunny. But you guessed that already, didn't you? Or by now you've got your translator app ready. All that's on my mind is family. To forge our own forest dwelling with a brood of half a dozen at least, hunting side by side forever. Mama Huntress smiles at you. She reaches into her bloody cloak and pulls out a handkerchief with a flower on it. For you, the one worthy of my Anna. Use it to clean your hatchet, or of Visura. You take the handkerchief. It's soft and smells of spices. I'll take good care of this. You point to Huntress. Her, on the other hand, she can take care of herself. Huntress is ecstatic. You won over Mama. No easy task. A time when this plane is coming to an end. The weird magic from the Ghost Girl's Black Lighthouse won't keep me here for long. I don't want to get into logic of this, but yeah, the Black Lighthouse can bring ghosts back to life. If you're still here, you're willing to believe anything. It was Spirit who brought you back? I'll have to thank her. Huntress' mama begins to fade. Huntress cries. You can picture her at 6 years old, lying over her mother's dead body. I fully support this union. I feel good leaving my daughter on this cruel earth with you. You share a meaningful look with the mother of your beloved. Mama Huntress fades away, leaving you and Huntress alone again. Not a second later, Claudette and Dwight storm back in, never alone for too long on this island. It's time for a dramatic scene between the lovers. Shall we adjourn to the forest clearing of ambiance? You and Huntress stand holding hands in the forest clearing. Dwight and Claudette watch your interactions closely. Too closely. Hey, I've really loved hanging out with you. I think it's time. Time for, oh my, okay. I'm not ready for this. Time for you to call me by my real name, like my mother does. Do you call me Anna? Oh, that, yes, of course. I think Anna's a beautiful name. And you're a beautiful person, Anna. Fidget, do you know what I'd like to do right now? With you, beneath the moonlight? I'm feeling closer to you than I ever have before. There's nothing I'd rather do right now than... She averts her eyes. Does she mean what she thinks she means? Nope. She's looking right at Dwight and Claudette. Chop up these two fools with you. She wants to hunt, right? My hatchet is as sharp for my love for you. Let's get bloody. And it's a gruesome scene as you and the Huntress go to town. These innocent survivors who just wanted to help you guys out. We were being forced to help you. Can't hear you, hun, on account of the congealing blood in your mouth. Once you made quite a mess of survivors, you and Huntress look at each other with manic eyes. Shall we return to the cabin? I'd love to get you out of that beach wear and into something a little less there. Thought you'd never ask. Once inside the cabin, Huntress strips off her kaftan, revealing every curve of her muscled bod. You follow her lead, distrobing for the first time since waking up here on the island. Yeah, you've been sleeping in your clothes. No judgment. It's a strange new place. You kiss. And yes, if you were wondering, it looks like she's going to keep the bunny mask on for this sexy time. This is the part where I skedaddle. Decapitation? Sure. Tiger maulings? Love it. Dudes crushing other dudes in car crushers? Gotta have it. A hanky panky? That's all I can't handle. I'll leave you horny kids to it. Ah, yon amour. Qu'est-ce que c'est beau? Qu'est-ce c'est beau? I butchered that. What? Just because Hunter speaks Russian doesn't mean I do. I speak Canadian French. It's a thing. Look it up. Am I nervously running my mouth down just to give you two time alone in the dark? Maybe. Stop me if you heard this one. A hillbilly, a doctor, and a clown walk into a bar. Fine, we'll get back to it. Post doing it, you and Huntress lie together in the warmth of the fire. Everything is so perfect. You imagine Mama Huntress smiling down at you from beyond. Then you realize that's pretty gross to imagine her having just watched all of that, and you try to stop thinking about it. That was incredible. You're telling me. The door of the cabin creaks open. You cover yourself with a blanket. Oh God, a severed arm claws its way through the door, leaving a trail of blood in its wake. No, we've walked right into a scene from a horror film. As soon as people have sex, they die. Not when I'm around. Good old Evil Dead reference. Huntress procures a hatchet from out of nowhere. Is that in bed with you guys? The wriggling torsos of Dwight and Claudette follow their chopped up limbs. Slowly the pieces of their bodies start to put themselves back together. No way. What the fuck indeed, my friend? You thought the island would let us die permanently? Haven't you ever played Dead by Daylight? Come on. We have to get to the final scene. Decision. Claudette and Dwight lead you to Huntress back to the empty beach. You both bask in the glory of being freshly laid. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? Like some sort of laundry detergent, freshly laid. Actually, that's not good. I'll get my agent to start circulating that. The island is strangely quiet. No sarcastic remarks discussing a broken young woman from Spirit. No strange, wide-eyed stare from socially awkward Wraith. No threats of imminent violence from Trapper. Even Claudette and Dwight are tightly lipped. They almost seem zombified.
Last day, you beautiful piece of meat. Now you've done so well. We're almost at the finish line. You didn't think I brought you all this way without a plan, did you? What kind of sinister body of salt water do you think I am?
A whoosh of dark energy surrounds you and disappears as quickly as it came. The island noises begin to return. Bird chips in their trees. The grass rustles in the light breeze. And oh look, the other killers are all here in the fire pit to watch the final ceremony. The finale ceremony. Can't wait any longer. The pomp and circumstance is agonizing. You're telling me. Stick to the script, Claudette. Oh, so Huntress, how do you feel about the newcomer? Are they everything your murderous little heart has ever longed for? Huntress stares you down for an agonizing moment. She steps towards you. My dear, I think this is true love. Come with me to the Red Forest. Let's hunt the woods together and have a family bursting with babies. We'll raise them as fierce warriors who can defend their family and home. In just a matter of days, you've gone from being completely alone to being the start of a clan of warriors. I did not see that coming. Wraith starts a slow clap. No one joins in. Typical. Whatever. Love is a concept made of a greeting card industry. I'm out of here. Spirit floats back to her black lighthouse. Look behind you. It's Trapper. Huntress, you bested me. He turns to you and offers his other hand for a handshake. Congratulations, Fidget. I don't shake hands with losers. Trapper's eyebrows shoot up, and then he smiles. Did not see that one coming. You're all right, kid. I hate you completely. I want to kill you mercilessly. But you're all right. But wait, you haven't said anything to Huntress. And I love you too. Yes, let's move to the Red Forest immediately. Is 12 kids too many? Maybe in this economy, but who cares? Your heart is overflowing with joy as you and Huntress embrace. Is this what you've been missing your whole life? A woman with shoulders the size of mountains who won't take off her bunny mask even during intimate times? Yes, 1,000 times yes. You stare into the sunset and picture your life together. Happiness is real. Oh my. Huntress lifts her mask. and you finally lay your eyes on her breathtaking natural beauty. You know, the cabin I grew up in doesn't have the amenities that my luxurious near beach house has. I'm used to living as a beast, bathing in the river, running wild through the bushes. While telling you this, Huntress has left her bathing suit behind and entered into the jungle. You haven't lived until you've been one with nature. Rawr. That's Dino for I love you. You chase Huntress into the woods, leaving your own bathing suit behind. The end. We have officially sexed the Wraith, the Trapper, and now the Huntress. I hope you have enjoyed the Huntress romance playthrough of Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, would generally appreciate it. And if you want to see more of these videos, especially Dead by Daylight content, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.